Now, when am I getting my dog? I get my dog, I think, in a couple weeks. I'm not exactly sure.
No one actually.
No, Mark asked me.
I take it back.
Hey, bro, I'm gonna keep it 2 Virgils with you, Al. That shit was mad rude, bro. You didn't have to say that. You know my feelings. I'm all excited about my dog, bro.
Oh, we gotta start hot.
Son, I got a fucking hater in my girl's family, bro. My girl's brother, because
You don't care though.
No, I don't care. But my girl's, but I do. But I don't. Here's the reason. I thought it was just like you hate me as one of my girl's brothers hates me. I thought you just hate me, and I was like, I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
But I think he's trying to sabotage your boy.
Oh, wow.
Like he was talking to the pops and trying to say that I wanted to give away the dog.
Wow.
Not my golden doodle, the shitty one we got that I want to give away.
Sounds like he's just a fan of the podcast.
Exactly. That's exactly. I'm like, all right.
But why you gonna tell the dad that, bro?
Where's the news?
Son, it was crazy. How you gonna? I'm trying to, impress the dad, get the dad on my side. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, ain't it fucked up when somebody tries to sabotage your relationship from the outside? Ain't that a horrible thing?
Who did that? Spell Applecoid.
Son, that's the hottest clip ever, yo. Hottest clip in Indian history.
We're gonna get to one of the best things that Akaash has ever retweeted in my entire life, bro. This shit was amazing.
Fucking goats, dog.
But how fuck is it? I'm meeting the dad and everything like that. Shit is going swimmingly. Do you know what I mean? Al, you don't know what that's about. And for real. So, and then all of a sudden, the last time we met, apparently called the pops and tried to fucking sabotage your boy, saying I wanted to get rid of the dog.
Yeah, again, he just told the truth, man. He probably just preparing the dad, like, yo, get ready.
Man, y'all really making good arguments for this, bro. I didn't come at him that way.
And how did you come back from it? Were you like, no, I love it?
You know what I said? I didn't deny it. I said, you know what? I don't like that dog, but I don't like the dog because I only value animals as much as they value me. So if an animal doesn't like me, I don't like it.
That's a decent save.
That's what I said. And I don't like that dog.
But what is the dad doing to impress you? Because that's what matters. Is the parents got to impress you. If he really wanted to sabotage, he would have just been like, yo, dad, he thinks you need to impress him?
I'll be honest with you, bro. I'll be honest with you, bro.
Double down Shelty.
I'll be honest with you, bro. He was driving that car fast. I think he was letting me know.
He's trying to impress you?
I think he was like, oh, I'm good at driving cars fast.
Oh. Did you think he was Senna? Is that what's going on?
He was doing some Ayrton Senna. Y'all don't know about F1.
Nah,
y'all some F fucking 10s.
I mean, isn't that better?
Wait, what?
That's better.
I was just using the F word differently.
Son, you are the F1. If I had to name an F1,
Yeah.
it would be you. Andrew Schulz. Capital F.
Is that the new word for maggot? Just calling someone an F1? Oh, dude, we just figured it out.
That's ill.
It's so lit.
It's ill. And it's European. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Also,
dude.
why is that the thing he tried to sabotage you with?
Why? Is there something else?
Yeah, you need to impress him.
I was
If I
being
wanna
impressive. I was like, yo, pick me up from Rogan,
No, that's ill. He probably don't know what that means.
Nah, he did. He was in there in the green room.
You took him to the green room?
Bro, my
Bro, he
girl
should like you
chilling in
already,
the green
yo.
room, son.
This lying as he was trying to impress him.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm trying to impress him. It's
I
my
thought
girl's
you
dad.
don't care to
he took a
impress.
strong
Say what?
stand.
You be talking shit like you don't care to impress.
I be lying. Because you dead ass feel that way before you're in the moment. You know what I mean? Like before you're there. It's almost like going like, I don't care if I bomb at this open mic, and then you get on stage and be like, no, I'm gonna kill these motherfuckers. I was throwing haymakers, bro, all weekend. Let's go. All weekend.
Oh my God.
No, it was fun. It was good shit.
Did you throw out there that you hit up Rogan like, hey, I'm gonna be in the city, what do you want to do? And then Rogan's like, oh, come through. That's a look. Like you're just casual with Rogan.
I didn't say
Shit
it
is
like
super
that.
cash.
I didn't say it was cash like that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I didn't say it was cash like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I will tell you this, and I told you earlier, but I get to tell all the Flagrant 2 people right now. We went full red pill.
Oh yeah.
On Rogan.
Yeah, he told me.
Okay, I brought up your boy Bill Still.
Yeah.
We brought up the
damn.
Fed. We went deep state. I asked Rogan, I go, yo, what's the conspiracy you really want to know about? Because he was trashing flat Earth. And he sits there for a second, he goes, honestly, I want to know what's up with the deep state. And then we went in. Wild shit. Wild shit.
The only thing less interesting than Bill Still is hearing you talk about Bill Still. It's interesting.
Yo, as I was saying it, I was like, man, this is losing steam. Yo, it's like when the train, when the train is speeding up, it goes chugga 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 choo choo. Bro, my shit was no choo choo.
Nothing worse than when you know you're bombing mid-bomb. That shit kills me.
Fuck, dude. Bomb with the dad. Bomb talking about his experience.
Nah, you didn't bomb with the dad, you had a heckler. Fucking up your shit.
Dude, I had a heckler, man.
Yeah.
Ah, shit. Shit. Like me, my girl's brother. Come on, what's good?
You do.
You know what I'm saying?
He listens.
Fuck.
You know what I mean? He listens.
Say what?
He listens.
He gonna not like me when I fuck your sister. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. like, shouldn't you like me? Nah, off the jump, off the rip. Like, shouldn't you love me? Yo, son. But like, come on. Hey, bro. I'm wrong, Mark.
Nah, that's selfish. That means he doesn't like his own sister.
Yo, right? Wait a minute. Make argument. I'm with you.
Because you're making her happy, and so if he doesn't like you, that means he doesn't like his own sister. He doesn't want her to be happy.
He don't want her to have them multiple gasms. Come on.
I don't know. As a friend, I feel like I should tell you to stop. But I also don't want you to be out here alone. You know what I mean?
Why didn't you just tell him that? You should have just looked him in the eye and said, "Look, dude, I give her that back." If you just tell him that, he goes, "All right, whatever." I didn't know you gave her that back, bro.
True. Oh, fuck.
You should have considered that.
What if I was just like, yo, the real thing is that there can only be one doggy style in my house. That's why we gotta get rid of that little motherfucker. Oh, boy. Shit. But nah, I do got a point. I do have a point. Do I not have a point? You think that's wild to say, Al?
That's wild, son.
Why so wild, bro?
Son.
We're fighting against oppression right now.
You are being oppressed a little bit.
I'm being oppressed.
Yeah, being oppressed,
Defund
yo.
the family.
Yo, he got brother privilege. You know what I mean?
He does have brother privilege.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a point.
You know?
Inside this dude's sister, bro.
Wait a minute, that's my girl you're talking about.
Guys, what's going on?
I was so into the fun. I was like, yeah, let's make more jokes about my girl, bro. I'm fucking my girl, man.
No, we're making fun of this guy's sister, not your girl.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. So easily tricked.
Oh my god.
Yo.
What's up, Al? Al took that one crazy,
So
bro.
white boys, y'all just white different.
Why?
Y'all just do it different.
Why?
That's wild, crazy, wild, disrespectful. He should punch you in your face.
For what?
Just cause I don't know, for some reason
For
I just
what?
feel like fucked up.
It's disrespectful, but it's not wrong.
It's disrespectful to have sex with my
God.
girlfriend? With my dick? Hey, dude, real talk. Is that disrespectful for me to take my fucking chunk?
Shout out Blue Chew.
Bro, is that disrespectful? Is that disrespectful
Does he
for
know
me?
you chew it out?
Nah, bruh.
He listens.
Yeah, dogs. Anyway, yo, go check out the Rogan episode. It's up today. It's fun. It gets wild. I mean, it gets wild. It gets wild. There's one moment where I go to the bathroom in the middle of a wild conversation. I promise you, we didn't cut anything. But I know people are going to go, yo, why when they were talking about these people killing people, all of a sudden you took a break? Also, if anything happens to me, tragically, I want everybody to listen to that. Like in the near future, I want everybody to listen to that episode, and there's the reasons in it. The reasons in it. I can even point to what I think it would be.
Son, what's your glam pick?
My what?
Your glam pick that's gonna be on the murals.
I'm not letting you pick it.
Nah, I'm asking you right now. Which
I
one?
got to pick mine.
Yeah.
What pose I would want to do?
I mean, which one do you want to see on all the murals? Like, black people need a glam pick.
What if
You
it's
need
just a
a
nose?
pick. Huh?
What
Say
if it was
what?
just a nose?
No.
You know what I mean? No, but like on some revolution shit though.
Son, you know, it'd be kind of dope if you buried me, but like my nose was above, like he put me under the dirt, but just my nose came up like a shark fin.
No, but I'm saying on some revolution shit, like that. You know what I mean? Like the mask for V for Vendetta is just the nose of Andrew. You spray paint, and like the revolution is happening here. And that means secret meetings here.
Yo, we having secret meetings, bro. We getting down to the bottom of this shit, bro.
Yo.
Motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Apple Coid. Yo, y'all gotta play this clip, bro. Did you see the thing Akaash posted on Twitter?
Nah.
Look
my
at the
God,
tweet with all the Indian flags tweeted.
Oh my
The
God.
most
I'm on
fire-ass clip
I'm
in
on
sports
Twitter.
history.
I literally I took the red eye in tonight. The red pill? I took that red pill, then we took that red eye. Okay. I land in New York. I go on Twitter. I believe I land. New York, go on Twitter. And Akaash has this up. There's this video. Do you see it out? Do you want me to text it to you?
Text it.
All right. Let me go get it right quick. So Akaash has
It's
this
a
video.
throwback
Explain
clip.
what's going on.
It's a throwback clip to the spelling bee in like the early 2000s, maybe even earlier. But an Indian kid goes up. This is before everybody knew what we were doing at the spelling bee. This might have been our moment, like our coming out party. Like it gets the word alopecoid, I think. Alopecoid.
Oh, you got it right there?
Yeah.
Also, by the way, just real time, they're trying to cancel me over that joke about Somali clits back in the day on Twitter.
Again?
Yeah, they're coming back for me. It's funny they don't try to cancel people cutting off the clits. You might want to cancel those motherfuckers.
You didn't cancel the clits. They did.
That's exactly what they do. Okay, so now the tweet.
All right, so
We'll give you up-to-date information as the podcast goes of how many more people are jumping on this bandwagon.
Oh, it's like big right now?
Oh, it's going down. Yeah.
full screen it. So this is at 1 million views. This is back when the spelling bee was still ESPN2, mad grainy, no
Yep.
high def. And the kid gets the word alopecoid and then legit passes out.
Well, no, just play it just so we can see it.
Okay.
Go.
Alopecoid means like a fox, vulpine.
All right. Yeah. He trying to hold it together. And he out.
3 steps back,
He
passes
out.
out. Keep watching.
Okay.
Never seen this happen. The poor gentleman. He's
Gentleman,
the
motherfucker
young
ate.
man apparently has fainted.
But look,
on
gets
stage. I
himself
think he's
off
okay, but
the ground, comes back
they
up,
did stop
wobbly.
the clock.
Hold on.
ALOPECOID.
Let's fucking go. That's what look at my man's right there. First of all, nobody helped him. That shit was hilarious. A child in front of adults passed out, hit their head on the ground, and none of the other kids budged.
Son.
Right? None of the other kids budged. None of the fucking parents did anything. How do you feel about that? Do you think
love
they
that
were
shit.
just so confident that like there's a
knew.
doctor here? Someone will help him.
He probably was a doctor. You know what I mean?
Already?
He knows he's fine. Yo, we the
Yo,
goats.
Doogie Howser does sound Indian, right? Like, Doogie Howser.
Oh, man, they take all our roles. You know what I mean? What can you do? Yo,
That
how
was
cool is that?
impressive,
Your
yo.
kid is
Say
a beast,
again?
man.
That was impressive.
What, that kid?
Yeah.
Son, he's not. Indians don't play.
Bro, we know.
Indians don't
What do you
play.
think just happened? Like,
He probably passed out from stress, and then he just was like, "Yeah, fuck it, I'm up. Let's do it."
holy shit.
If
Yeah,
he didn't
bro.
get up, they might have left him there the rest of the fucking spelling
Yeah, his
bee.
parents gonna beat his ass
Yeah,
worse.
That's
Well-
that's an honor killing, bro.
Can I say? I think nobody went to help him because if you did, maybe they would have told you the word and how to spell it.
Oh,
That's why the parents were like, fuck, I can't go help my kid. Interference.
yeah.
No, his parents are a piece of shit. So.
Yeah. But that's
They're-
Indian parents, right?
Yeah,
They just don't care.
they don't give a fuck, yo.
That's fucked
Go
up,
be
son.
great, yo. Go be great.
At spelling, bro? Why'd you pick spelling? Y'all pick some weird shit to be good at. Spelling, doctor,
Yeah, how's doctor, engineer? How's that weird?
what?
The spelling, I get you on that one.
Spelling.
Yeah.
What else are we good at?
Oh, what that baseball shit that y'all play?
Cricket.
With a
Yo,
with a
come
stick.
on, son. Disrespecting cricket
What?
right now. I can't believe it, yo.
It is
So
poor
y'all-
baseball, bro. They don't even got mitts.
I know,
They're
yeah,
just
that
out there in their
shit-
fucking bare feet with
Yeah,
their
we're a
hands.
realist, yo.
You guys
That's
love
why.
insects that much, dude. Between
Wait.
crickets and bees,
There's
like,
Spelling.
all your shit's
You
just.
saved that shit.
I didn't know where you were going,
Cricket,
yo.
I was like, Mark,
You think I don't
put
got
your
it?
hair in a bun,
You
Mark.
think I don't got it, bro?
Samson.
How dare you doubt the chosen one, bro?
You do got that Jesus hair too.
Saying, dog, son of God.
Yo, spelling bee is all we can do. It's it. It's an easy way to a scholarship. You just got to spell. Like, it's just memorizing.
I can't fathom you get a scholarship from just being able to spell things.
If you're a national spelling bee champion, I think you can go wherever you want.
Okay. All right. How do you spell bored? Because that's what I am by this topic.
It's a homonym, so you're gonna have trouble with it.
Bro, one of the best. What's that comic? What's his name? He's like Neil or something.
That
Like
was really good.
Every white comic?
no, yeah, that was. I
Sam
went to the
Rubinoff,
park.
Mark Norman.
Yeah, but like the older guy of that. I went to the
Norm Macdonald.
Norm Macdonald. Yeah. Right. Yeah. You know, and then I got my coffee.
Yo, it's so funny how you can ruin anybody. You know what I mean? Like,
no, I'm about to big him up.
okay, he's a genius, but when who's that guy?
But now you get it though, right?
Yeah.
Now I'm like, oh, that's Neil McDonald. What's his name? Norm Macdonald. Yeah. So Norm Macdonald, he was on Conan, right?
Yeah.
And he was on with Carrot Top.
Yeah. Oh, this is so good.
Oh my God, this clip is amazing. You've seen this clip?
Nah,
You've seen it.
I don't see his
This.
face.
All right, look. So he's on with Carrot Top. I'll explain what happened. And Carrot Top is.
No, he's on with a girl who's doing a movie with Carrot
Oh, sorry.
Top.
Yeah, the girl's doing a movie with Carrot Top, and the movie's called Chairman of the Board. And
The whole time, Norm is sitting in the second seat.
you tell a story, you fucking Indian motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Why don't you spell the story while we're at it? No, go. You say it. Go.
So the whole time, Norm is in the second seat. You know, normally after the person interviews, they stick around and they barely talk.
Yeah, he's sniping.
Norm just keeps shitting on Carrot Top via this girl and the fact that she did a movie with him. Like,
Yeah.
she literally cannot say a sentence without Norm sniping and ruining everything.
So Conan goes to the girl, well, all right, what's the name of the movie? And she's like, it's Chairman of the Board. And then Conan goes to Norm. He goes, so do you have a joke for that, Norm? And he goes, is it spelled Bored?
and then Conan fucking loses.
One of the greatest in the moment reactions, bro.
Oh, man.
See?
Two great stories back to back.
We got to get off this spelling topic, dog. This spelling topic. How you spell drown? How you spell that, dog? Fuck. Let's talk about black people.
Yo, that's an interesting segue that you did that.
Why?
Because black people can't swim.
Oh! How y'all got that reputation?
Can you swim?
I can, but I'm Puerto Rican.
But
I mean,
But it is funny though when like you look at the Caribbean and the islands, it's all black people that love swimming.
they can swim.
yeah, but they're talking about American blacks.
But why are American blacks not good at swimming? Why? What is the aversion to water?
Well, you learn to swim when you're young, and most people don't get the opportunity to go to a pool or a beach.
But what about like a lake or something like that? Community pool.
Where's lakes?
The lakes in the hood.
Yeah, like
I don't know.
that's what I'm saying. You got if you don't start early, then boom.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
But what about poor whites? Poor whites always be swimming.
They be around
They
lakes.
find a lake.
They be
find
around lakes, yo.
I like lakes, camping, all that
So-
outdoor white people shit.
Poor blacks are not settling around lakes
Yes.
or water.
We don't like nature. We don't like outdoors.
Okay, now did they not settle around water because the last time were they like, nah, let's go inland, bro. We gotta go
That's really
in.
good. That's really good. Fuck port cities. Yeah. You out of your mind? You think I'm going there?
But also, I think pools were like super segregated. That was like one of the most segregated things.
Really?
Yeah. That
Where it was
another
like,
thing.
like some stuff started getting integrated a little, but they were like, not pools. We can't.
Mark be knowing shit.
Definitely no.
No integration in the pools.
Really?
They were pissed about it. There was one place where they were like, no, you have to integrate the pool. This is in like Montgomery, Alabama. They're like, you have to integrate the pool.
Is that why they created the deep end?
They just, 'cause it's so
They
tall.
needed a place for their dicks to hit the bottom.
But they fucking drained the whole pool.
No.
Yeah, they were like, all right, black people are gonna come in. We're just not gonna have a pool anymore. Like they like canceled the whole park.
Ain't that
They,
some
like-
Alabama shit? You guys got to integrate the school. What do you want better? We'll shut the whole fucking thing down. Fuck that. Fuck reading.
Straight up.
Ah, it's so weird. Why would you not want to go swimming with blacks?
Wouldn't it be nice to be better at something athletic than a black person?
Yeah.
Just for once?
I mean, for argument's sake, let's entertain it.
Oh man.
No, like if you're coming through it from that example, it's just such a weird. That's the thing I don't understand about white supremacy. It's like they don't seem that confident that they're supreme.
Yeah, very true.
Right? Like all these like white supremacists are super afraid of Mexicans. The Mexicans are coming, right? They're super afraid. The black people are gonna take our girls and fuck all our girls.
Yeah.
It's like if you really believe you're the shit,
How you let
why are you worried?
How you let Mexicans steal your jobs if you're better than them?
Boom.
Those don't both hold up. You can't steal my job if I'm better than you.
That's what I'm saying. If you true like we gonna need to
good. This
require
is good.
some
I
more.
like this
Nah,
stuff.
I'm kind of tight. I'm kind of tight. Like if you really believe you're supreme, be about that life.
Yeah.
How funny is that shit? They work at a gas station. They're like, the Jews will not replace us. It's like, yeah, I don't think they will, bro.
Wait a minute. Is this
No,
a Holocaust
actually-
joke, bro?
No, that's the thing they were saying in Charlottesville. They're like, the Jews will not replace
Oh, I thought you were
us.
doing gas station like they were gas. I was like, whoa, Mark, you are going
What's
for
What's
it.
funny though is the Jews are just building electric cars, so you are getting replaced. Like you're
fuck.
done.
Yeah, it was.
You work at a
Elon
gas
that
station,
did
it's
it.
over.
Dude, it is.
It's over. It's a wrap. White people. White people done.
Huh?
White people are done.
Spell gas station.
We already did a spelling bee on here. not
Spell
once.
gas station.
Bruh,
Spell gas
We
station.
spell that shit so nice we own them. Yeah, I mean,
That's not you, Indians, though.
yeah.
Nah.
Who is it?
How you tell it hip?
Huh?
How you tell it hip?
It's not his Indians.
So which ones are they?
That's the Punjabis that own it.
And good juice, Gujaratis.
And Gujaratis, but not you.
Yeah.
What do you guys own?
Gujaratis and Punjabis. I cast out this bitch.
Some fucking nuance. Yo, you know what's mad? That's mad funny about Indians, bro. Is Indians out here like with the Black Lives Matter, like we gotta support, we gotta have equality. And the second you ask an Indian about their caste, they're like, no, technically I'm one of the higher castes. Like, I am a higher caste person. Like, you know, honestly, like we are the fucking sheriffs or whatever. What are they called? Popes or some shit? What are they called?
Brahmins?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Priest?
Priest, yeah.
Priest, yeah. You love that high caste shit. Be honest. You love Akaash loves to brag about the meat he can eat, but none of the rest of them can. What can you eat? What can you eat?
Everything except beef.
Look at that. Take a sip too. Take a sip on that. Just starving ass Indians. You know what I'm saying? Wash that turkey down.
Oh, man.
Yo, one thing I noticed this past weekend,
Yep.
white people have taken over this movement. I went to 2 marches.
Can we
went
go on
to
to
2
this?
marches,
Can we go on
son.
to this?
Son.
Can we go on to it? Go. Talk to me. And they turned it into Coachella. I know.
I would say there was 5 black people for every 100 white people there. So
Son.
I was shocked. And this was in Flatbush, Brooklyn.
Son, I was in Santa Barbara, okay?
Oh.
White as fuck, but they had a march going.
Yeah.
And so I took my girl's family and shit. I was
You
like,
really tried to impress. Shout out to Schulte right
I don't know if that impresses them.
I mean, it's like it shows you.
Yeah,
I'm with it?
Yeah.
Goodwill and all that.
I mean, her dad was fresh out of surgery. I'm like making him hobble down the fucking street to go to this Black Lives Matter march. And, but I just wanted to check it out because I was like, there's no black people in Santa Barbara, like very few, right?
Yeah.
And there was a few people there, and it was cool. Everybody was supporting everything like that. But I started to look around at the people at the march, and I was like, saw mad white bitches with dreads, hippied out, Burning Man shit, right? A few like trannies and shit. And one just had a sign, this chick with titties and everything. I'm a man. I was like, that got nothing to do with what's going on here, right? And I go, oh shit, this has become the outcast. Like anybody who's an outcast that wants to fight against the system that they believe has oppressed them is now supporting this thing. And they're saying it in terms of Black Lives Matter. But part of me is kind of like, they just want to tear down the system that made them feel like shit or inferior or not part of something. And I wonder if it's going to start to get co-opted because as I see more of these things, they're looking fun. And I'm not saying you shouldn't have fun at a protest, but you shouldn't.
Black people should have never Cupid shuffled at that protest. That was the tipping point. That's when white people were like, we should do this.
Yo, son, be honest, right? If you're at a protest and you're the powers that be, and you see them screaming and angry and defacing public property and doing that kind of shit, you're like, yo, we got to do something. If you see motherfuckers dancing and singing and YG dropping new music,
That's a block party.
it's a block party. So you're like, oh, they're good. They just want to kick it. All right, they're going to be good. Everything's fine. I really don't know if it helps the severity and seriousness of the movement if everybody's so joyous.
Can I be honest though?
Go.
That's why if you're just doing a peaceful protest without like any kind of economic sanction of any kind, informal or formal, nobody I don't think is gonna listen. You're just hanging out
100%.
screaming. Who gives a fuck?
Women's March.
Yeah. Yeah.
What that changed?
They're more annoying.
I can't name like a single piece of legislative difference. Like, what would it change?
I would say just the
It gave some of these
culture,
women the careers they wanted.
Yeah, like
Say again?
It gave some of these women the careers they wanted.
What? Oh, yeah. I guess I hear what you're saying.
But I would just say like behavior has changed a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know if that was from the march, but I understand.
Yeah.
But it is interesting that you saw that. And I wonder if that affects it. Like,
I think the Me Too movement, a lot of people were like, oh shit, yeah, maybe we could be a little better. But the march, I don't think.
I don't want to talk about the Me Too shit.
That's fair. I'm just saying the march I don't think did any like I don't think the march where people were like, oh yo, these bitches are walking for this, they're serious. Oh, that sign really changed my perspective.
Yeah, let's talk about this Black Lives Matter thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're in there,
Yeah.
and then you feel like what happened? Like, was it still Black Lives Matter? Was it like, yo,
So-
this is a party, people just need
No.
something
The
to do during the
message
day?
is still on point, but there is fun being had.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, the chants, the rhyming. It's like,
Yeah,
it is fun.
yeah,
And sometimes somebody will pass with like a really big ass speaker and just be playing music and shit like that. But at the same time, there's still for every 2 songs of fun, then there's chants of fuck the police and all that type of stuff going on as well. So it's like the message is still on point. It's still Black Lives Matter, very
Yeah.
much so. But
yeah. But now I feel like and this is my concern, right? I'm concerned that what happens is when you get power and you get influence, you start to ask for more and more shit, right? And I fear that the focus will go away from the thing that they want, and then the goals will start to get unrealistic, and then nothing will be achieved. Okay, all right, we can take a break for a second, guys. Go drink. Don't be hungover. Simple as that. Do you want to be able to drink and not be hungover? I mean, you're drinking probably way more now. You're in quarantine. You're shelter at home. I think I've drank maybe 80% of the days that I've been at home. It's possible. It's a lot. It's not good. That being said, I don't want to be hungover the next day. I want to be able to be here bright and early, get these podcasts done. DHM detox. Simple as that. Let me read off a couple things very important about it. Most big misconception is that hangovers are caused by dehydration only. Wrong, okay? They're caused by the byproduct of alcohol. And there's a buildup of that byproduct. That shitty next day feeling is not just dehydration. It's because of the buildup that alcohol is byproduct. So DHM Detox uses science to help boost your body's natural response to alcohol, helps break down those toxins. It's made up of natural ingredients, antioxidants, and vitamins. You take 2 capsules after your first couple of drinks, and it goes to work. Double up, take another packet if you're having a big night. They come in convenient packets that are easy to share with your friends and family. It is now part of the drinking routine if you're going for it. I'm 36. I don't get to recover like I did when I was a kid, okay? These hangovers get worse as you get older. You got to get this in the system so that you can have a good day the next day. DHM Detox, I'm telling y'all, as simple as that. What do you have to lose? Just try it, man. Honestly, just try it. Now, look, for just a couple of dollars, you can wake up feeling fine after drinking. Also, there's free shipping in the U.S. Sorry, Abba. DHM Detox is a risk-free purchase. So if you aren't satisfied after taking the product, just email them. They'll give you your money back. No risk here. And we got you 20% off your order, okay? Just head over to dhmdetox.com. Use the promo code Flagrant at checkout. That's dhmdetox.com. If you have any questions, send a message to @DHMDetox on Instagram. Again, there's nothing to lose here. It's completely free. Just try it for free. Even if you don't even drink a lot, you might as well try it.
Just have it on hand.
Yeah, just have it on hand. You try it next time you're going to have a drink.
You're going to get drunk.
That's it. You might as well, nothing to lose. You get your money back if it doesn't work. Just try it. Use the promo code Flagrant. Support us. All right, let's get back to the show. You know, I think the first thing that we saw was when Chauvin got his murder charge upgraded to murder 2. So murder 3 to murder 2. Anybody listening from another country doesn't understand it. I'm sure you guys have similar rules where there's different degrees of murder. Al, murder 3 is what?
That's almost like
Unintentional.
Yeah, unintentional. It's very close to manslaughter, but just a little bit like
It's like
not a mistake.
Yeah, like manslaughter, you truly didn't mean to kill the person.
Yeah.
This is you're doing an action to them that they ended up dying
Yeah,
from.
it's like this action could
Yes.
kill the person, and you continue doing it.
Now, murder 2, you get closer to the idea like you want. I think murder 2 is you want to kill them, and then murder 1
so-
is premeditated
Yeah,
murder.
so 2 is intent with no premeditation, and 1
Right.
is premeditation.
So the concern I have is they up the charge, and then the masses were like, yes, they up the charge.
Yeah.
But I'm like, yo, hold up. If you go in there trying to get murder 2,
You can't settle for murder 3.
you're not going to settle for murder 3. So you might not get anything.
So here's a strategy, because I was looking that up. I was worried about that as well.
Okay.
They added to it. And so it's better to go in with a bunch of charges.
Better. Okay.
Because then you're more likely for them to be like, all right, we're not going to charge them with the hardest shit, but we'll give them one of the little ones.
Okay.
And so if the biggest one was the murder 3.
Yep.
He might have walked on that one, but now that murder 2 is the biggest one, now it's like most likely.
It's like a
they
divorce
will-
settlement.
Boom.
The bitch goes, I want half. And you
Yes.
go 10%. She go, all right.
And that's my same theory on these marches, because I know you
What?
disagree.
The fuck kind of divorce negotiation is that? How do you think divorce works?
That's not how it goes.
Oh, yeah, 10%. Okay.
I feel like that's generous.
Nah,
10?
it don't work like that. So.
10%.
I'm not saying what's right and wrong. I'm saying what happens. You think dudes out here getting divorced and giving up 10%?
How much they give?
About half, yo.
Yeah.
Man, come on, bro.
It's usually more than that.
These bitches
too.
working for the government? Yo, what's going on over here?
Wait, what? It's no coincidence that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez wants
Yeah.
rich dudes to give up 65%.
Single ass.
Yeah.
Why don't you get a man that could give you half? All these single bitches in Congress like, we want half of your tax money. Get a rich man.
Okay.
Okay, back to this.
So
Stop distracting us from black lives and the white people that support it.
I think you disagree with this, but I think the protest and them asking for either defunding or abolishing the police is a good place to start.
Fam, what is going on here?
I feel it's a great place to start.
Okay, let's have this discussion. Defund the police.
Yes.
Defund the police. Okay. Why would you want to make them less fun?
Wow, that was the take you were to say. Like, that was what you was going to say, son.
For the show.
I had to fucking slam it. Nah. I got something in the tuck. That's
Oh,
not the
okay.
one. That's
I
not the
was
one.
like,
I got something in the tuck still. It's right here. It's right here. You know what I mean? It's right here. Okay, go. Go. Okay,
Nah,
break
you were
down.
talking.
What
Yeah.
is defunding the police? Break it down. Because at the surface, anybody that hears that, that's realistic, right, and calls the police, anybody that's like, I'm going to call the police, was like, don't defund them.
Yeah.
So break it down. Maybe it's something that we don't understand.
Two different things. So
Yeah.
there's one group asking to defund the police, as in take away funds because their practices haven't been like for the people, and redistribute those funds to other things like community leadership or counseling or things of that nature, like just different ways to police the community.
Yep.
Then there's people who want complete defunding, like almost abolishing it,
Right?
and starting anew.
So let's start with the first one,
Okay.
which I think is like the most realistic one that a lot of
Yes.
people are, which
Yeah.
is basically, and Mark, clarify this because we had this discussion before, which is like and if I'm saying something wrong, correct me.
Gotcha.
But right now, the police do a lot of jobs that aren't necessarily policing.
Correct.
For example, like if there's a homeless people doing something wrong, right? The police will be sent there instead of maybe like a counselor that might be better equipped with how to deal with a crazy person. They can help them out.
My cousin is a psychiatrist, and he's like, police don't give a fuck. They just drop him off at the hospital. They're like, here you go, and then they get out. They
Right.
don't give a fuck.
So they go like, okay, that's a perfect example. And then maybe like suicide is another situation where the police will go there. But maybe, again, you could have a different division where you'll have counselors go there and help, right?
Yeah.
Hostage negotiation. I'm sure there's like a hostage expert there, but you might also call the police. So I think the defunding thing, the idea is, and it's poorly worded, but instead of defunding the police, you're basically going, why don't we just use the police for what they're supposed to do and then use other experts for these fields for what they're supposed to do?
A couple other things are like the DNA testing, sex kits, rape kits and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because all those stuff tend to be really backed up in most places.
Right.
And the police claim, oh, we don't have the funding, we don't have whatever.
So then let another
outsource
division
that
just
shit
do that.
and-
So that'd be interesting about defunding. And I think that's why if we had a different word, people would digest it way better. So the pushback that I would give to that, this is what I've read, is how that helps save black people. They're talking about, so let me just make the point, is like all these divisions that they're talking about defunding aren't when police kill black people, right? 1 second. Okay. So it's like black people aren't homeless when they're getting killed by the police, right? Black people aren't crazy when they're getting killed by the police. Black people, what other things they do? It's not DNA kits or sex kits that black people are getting killed by the police. The places where black people are getting killed by the police are in the violent crime situations, the pullovers, the stops, the ticketing.
I would disagree with that.
Give me one that's not.
Floyd. He was called for a counterfeit bill.
But
you don't need police for that. You can send like an auxiliary cop that doesn't need a gun.
For like a type of like financial fraud situation?
Yeah, like I think police should be there for violent situations. If a guy is just like, oh, he's trying to counterfeit a bill, let's just call it. You know how they have like ticket cops?
Back up. Outside of that, right? Outside of that, we can look at a lot of these scenarios and a lot of these situations where cops have killed innocent black people, and they aren't in the situations which they're saying that they should defund. And I would probably go so far as to say 99% of the times where innocent black people are killed by the police, they're not in those slivers of policing that they want to defund. So I don't know if that functionally helps the problem. That's the pushback I would
give.
Yeah,
but I'm saying the people who are asking for that, they just want police for violent situations.
And those are the situations where they unlawfully kill blacks. So why would you still want them?
No, like violent situations like a robbery, like a shootout somewhere. You come solve that. A counterfeit bill, selling a loose cigarette. These aren't things where a cop with a gun needs to come fix it, is what he's saying. Yeah, getting pulled over as Philando Castile is just a routine traffic stop.
Yo, low key. So back up. You don't even need a defund. Why does a highway cop? No. I'm trying to think of scenario. I'm trying to poke holes.
You know what they're gonna say.
Poke holes in my argument. But why does a routine highway cop, I'm not just routine highway cop? Why do they have to have a gun? If you're just giving tickets.
Because what they're going to say is the number one way cops get killed is routine traffic stops. I need to have my gun. You are putting us in danger. To which kind of I would be like, yeah, you knew that when you signed up for this job. It's a dangerous job. That's what they tell cops in Europe everywhere.
Let me just poke a hole in my own argument. Sometimes you pull someone over and then they have drugs in the car and they don't want to get caught with those drugs. So then they start shooting, etc. And then it becomes a bigger type of crime.
Yeah.
And a lot of like smaller things escalate quickly because of the person that's involved. That person might be some mafia dude that's got fucking kilo cocaine in the back. He's like, I'm not going to jail for 25 years. Boom, boom, boom. But you just pulled him over because he's speeding.
And so I would say, I think those occurrences happen a lot less than a normal traffic stop.
Yeah.
So for those situations, if all the people are aware, like it's almost like how London, most cops don't have guns. People are aware that the cops don't have guns, so things don't tend to escalate to gun violence.
But the people also don't have guns, right? It's not an armed republic, whereas America is.
But I'm saying, like, so say if a drug dealer knows, like, oh, the traffic cop doesn't really have a gun, that I don't really need to shoot him to get away. I can just run away. And then that person just calls in the actual police, be like, yo, this person ran, and I suspected something. Now the police can come in for a situation like that. But for a routine traffic stop, you don't need to have this police officer who's been trained in combat training, whose first thought is like, oh, I got to protect myself at all costs. like, and I could be in danger in a split second because we're trained to react. We're trained to anticipate. And that's one of the problems in like the way we're trained, like as a law enforcement person. It's like we have to anticipate that there's going to be danger and then don't hesitate to react on it. And that's what goes wrong half the time. It's those split decisions
I've even
where
heard white
somebody's
people
like,
complain about the way cops talk to you during a traffic stop is
Yeah.
like, you're not trying to de-escalate anything. You're almost trying to escalate. You know why I pulled you over? What makes you think you're better than everybody else that you can just speed and they can't? And it's like, it's just not anything that could happen. It's just escalating.
Right.
You know what I mean? And if you have people that were trained in de-escalating, just writing the ticket, hey man, I got to do this.
Boom.
Sorry, it is what it is. Like, and then if we need to search the car, call for backup, whatever, you're gonna have to wait here.
And then one of the like the tertiary benefits is that you can have like military police or like actual violent police, like police that are dealing with violence are able to get like more specifically trained for longer, and you're able to allocate more money into a smaller subset of police.
But to Schultz's point, where you're fucking up marketing wise is saying defunding the police.
It's
'Cause
such a
every
poor
Republican
choice
hears
of
that and
words.
says, "Oh, I'm in danger."
And that's how you
Hold on,
like
hold on.
market headlines though.
But back up. It's not only Republicans. I think the average person sees the word defund police and they go, well, I don't want a police force that's so depleted that they can't protect me. Is that reasonable? Is that what you guys thought when you first saw the word?
And this is, I personally think, is a problem with like liberal academia is
Go.
that they will work through all of the problems and then come up with solutions and then present the solutions and they sound crazy. So like, for example, they're like, oh, like everyone has to acknowledge their white privilege. And it's like, wait, you're saying my life is easy? And it's like, no. I've actually just been thinking that like, you know, we've been studying sociology for, 50 years where we're like, oh yeah, white people just do the virtue of your skin. You have an easier time, blah, blah, blah. And so now you have to acknowledge like the whole explanation of it.
Yeah,
And so
so-
they come up with, they solve the problems over years and years and years. And then they come up with the solution as just like a headline. And it sounds
Yeah.
crazy.
As opposed to what?
As opposed to like, okay, here's the problem or like,
Yeah, but that can't be a headline.
exactly. So the issue is that like
they
the
want to
clickbait
make
things.
waves with it, and they know it's going to be spread around, and they know that this idea is going to be shared by everybody, and now it's this common goal, and
Yeah.
it sounds sexy, and you jump behind a sexy idea. It's no different than what Trump does, right? It's like it's super interesting.
But
It is true though. Sorry to cut you, but like about how the Democrats operate in that way. Like I think a perfect example was that fucking horribly embarrassing like kente cloth photo. Dude, white people are tap dancing for your vote right now.
Have
Al,
you-
how does
it
it
is-
feel? How does it feel, Al?
how does it feel, Al?
I mean, it feels good. I ain't gonna lie.
Did you get one of those
So
foot
now
rubs?
do you get it?
No. But it only feels good because it's like we're finally being acknowledged. The way they're going about it is funny. So it's more so it feels good because it's entertaining. But it's like, hey, any awareness to improving the way my livelihood, I'm all on board.
Yo, white people really treating black people like an angry girlfriend.
Washing your fucking feet.
Nah, but like, is there
Yes,
anything I
I
could
want
do?
you to
How
do.
are you feeling? Like, I got you, babe. We'll watch whatever you want to watch. Like,
Yeah, but it's
what's
like,
going, you know what I mean?
Hey, you want to watch 13 tonight? you wanna give it a
Let's
shot?
defund the police. Let's just defund the police.
Yeah, but it's
Police.
like- it's
whatever
like-
you guys get.
they're talking to them like they're how you would deal with an angry girlfriend whose previous boyfriends have been beating her up.
Yeah.
So it's like she's more on edge. She's more like that.
Yeah.
So
But
it's like
it's
you
too
need to
much.
coddle a little bit.
Yeah, but what was that foot rub shit,
Hey,
man?
foot
Can someone
cleansing?
explain what that foot rub shit? How racist? So for anybody who
didn't
doesn't
even-
know what's going on,
yeah, that I
apparently
missed
there was
that.
some protest where like black people were able to sit down, and then white people were washing their feet or like rubbing their feet. Have you guys seen this imagery going around?
Yeah, it's a
Did not
thing.
see that.
Yo,
Okay.
I mean,
I'll
the
find it.
reparations have gone down so much for black people. Like,
From-
you
yeah.
guys were promised a lot of shit.
And now you're just getting foot rubs.
Yeah.
No, but like for me, when I look at that, I'm like, how racist do you have to be
Yeah, man.
that you are going to rub someone's feet so that they don't know how racist you are? Because nobody that actually sees black people as equal, if a black guy came up to me and was like, yo, you're white, I'm black, rub my feet. I'd be like, I will beat your fucking ass right now if you weren't scary and black.
You're not about to wash your white ass feet.
You know what I'm
You know what I mean?
saying? No, but for real, like, are you fucking kidding me? Tell me to rub your feet.
Yo, maybe that's why white people want to rub black people's feet because that's the whitest part of their body.
Bottoms are right. It's the only part they'll touch.
Yeah, like I'll touch the white part. You know what I mean? Like,
Yo, but isn't that crazy though? Like, I couldn't believe it, and I really think there's some like deep down fucking racism and
Yes,
guilt
dude.
about your racism. Nobody that treats someone equally would do that to themselves.
I don't know if it.
You know,
racism. I just think it's like they don't know what to do. Like you were saying last
that's
week.
an
it's like,
overreach. It's really
it's like
simple.
people not
you know,
knowing what to do. So like, okay, if this is going to show that I'm not racist, like I'll do it.
But
Hey,
would
man.
you do that? Like, what if Indians were like, "You've made black people, you've made fun of us for years. Rub our feet."
Nah.
They
Like
ain't rubbing Akash's feet.
it's they're just like you said. It's a over.
I also don't
it's
really see us as
overcorrection.
equal, so it's a thing. It's an interesting point you bring up. But the point is,
What do you mean?
I said
They
they,
look
don't see
down
us
at-
as equal.
they look
There's
down
no
at
way
y'all?
black people see Indians as equal. There's no way.
Y'all look down on
There's
Indians?
no way you could look at somebody that athletically inferior and say that's my equal.
You equal
Just,
enough for
like,
them to use your
physically.
hair?
Yeah, that's some,
Maybe black people as a whole, maybe like I do, but maybe
we're like my dog is like we're like golden doodles to them. Like we're exotic, you know what I mean? But
Yo,
give me the hair.
don't do that. Hey, don't do that.
That's kinda
Hey, bro,
disrespectful, bro.
don't do that.
That's
Don't
wild
make
disrespectful.
my dog Indian, bro.
Yo, your dog's Indian.
No,
yo.
hey.
Yo.
Don't do that, bro. hey. Don't do that, bro.
why?
What
What's
you
wong
gonna
with the
name
dog
him?
being Indian?
What?
What's wrong with the dog being
Nothing
Indian?
about- I named my shit's name Tiki.
See?
Tiki Wiki.
No, it's actually Tiki Masala, but Tiki Wiki works too. Nah, my dog's a Sabi, but for real, don't do that, bro. Don't do that to my dog.
Wasabi. Wasabi.
Oh, what does that mean in Hindu?
It means
I take pussy, no problem.
you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yo, this picture. Okay, so back to the picture with the scarves. I got to give credit to this bitch, Nancy Pelosi. This bitch smart, bro. She's the only Democrat that knows how to play Trump's game. She's the only Democrat that understands the most important thing is the conversation, not the content. So she's like, yeah, put all this dumb shit on. We're going to go take a knee. We're going to look absolutely ridiculous. They're going to make memes about it. They're going to do everything. And the conversation will be about us and what we want to get accomplished, or not even what we want to accomplish, about us, not Trump. She is taking attention away from Trump. As long as we're talking about them, we're not talking about Trump. And Trump dominates the news cycle because we're talking about him. If I got to give her credit, she's Tekashi, bro. She's Tekashi.
I didn't even look at it that way,
Maybe.
and that's a move.
Bro, Tekashi 6ix9ine, dog. Pelosi, I'm telling you, this girl she knows what she's doing.
I just know that all of their knees are fucked up.
There was one girl that couldn't get up and nobody helped her up.
Nancy couldn't get up. None of them touched that bitch. Like, this bitch got us looking goofy in the middle of this fucking floor.
She was like, I had a fucking spelling bee or some shit. She just fell down.
It looked exactly the same. Spell the N-word.
They took a knee on a hard floor for 8 minutes.
Yeah.
8 minutes?
Yeah.
9 or some shit. As long as
yeah.
George Floyd
Yeah,
was
eight and change. Yeah.
Democrats will do this. They'll do some shit to make you think, Al. They'll do some shit to make you think that they're supporting you, but they're actually fucking you over. That's what Democrats do to the
That's
black
what Clinton
community.
did. That's exactly what Clinton did.
Why are they fucking us over?
Because
right
they're
now?
doing the exact same shit that the officer did. Is this for Chauvin or is this for George Floyd? You don't know. If someone was like, yo, these people right here are supporting Chauvin, you'd be like, okay, I see it.
Yeah.
What you think all them white supremacists are doing to celebrate this shit? The exact same thing. They taking a
bet.
knee for George Chauvin. What's his name?
George Floyd or Derek Chauvin? Derek Chauvin.
George Zimmerman, Jarek Chauvin. They taking a knee for his ass.
All right. How much is all right?
I'm just saying, bro, this shit is crazy.
You feel honored by this, Al?
Son, they're doing something, man.
Are they?
Something is better than nothing.
They bought some
Like-
kente
like-
cloth, bro.
Yo, like you said, they stole the attention. They now you're talking about this issue instead of Trump.
They look like they're graduating
Hiding in
from
a bunker.
They look like they're graduating from an HBCU or some shit. Like,
Yeah, shout out to that.
so silly.
Oh, we actually have to get to who was that?
They look like they're pledging in a black fraternity, and this is part of the hazing.
Omega.
The Q dogs, dude. Them Q dogs.
Son, do they know how fire that shit is?
Yeah, that shit look
Man, that shit is so hot, dude. You can't get mad at people for doing that shit.
Oh,
that
yeah.
shit look
That's
cool.
too fire.
So is this black supremacy?
Oh, we
wanna
get
get
into
to that.
Terry.
Is it black
Terry
supremacy
Crews?
if white people only wash black people's feet all the time? Is that not black supremacy?
Nah.
I've said this before. If you
Okay.
make a job more competitive, that helps weed out a lot of the idiots. Now, it should be much easier to lose your job as a cop, but if you pay a cop an amount of money, if it's like $150,000 a year, somebody who's actually smart might look at being a cop and be like, oh, I'll risk my life for $150,000 a year. Let's do that. Right now, you're getting a lot of dumb cops who are doing this because it's like a decent job, it's safe, and I don't really have a lot of their options.
No.
And now you can't lose their job because nobody else wants to do it because you get paid fucking $50,000 a year or whatever.
Son, a lot of cops are making 6 figures. They milk overtime because their budget is so massive.
Yo, I got a
We can
little.
cut that shit too like a flat
I got a
tax.
little idea, bro. I got a little idea. Try to poke holes, but I got a little idea. All right, y'all ready? Okay. A union should not be able to negotiate against the government.
Okay.
That should be illegal. Because the person that's representing the government doesn't have any skin in the game.
Oh, it's not a private. Okay.
A private business, right? Let's say we own a factory.
Yeah.
Right? And we're negotiating with the union that works at the factory. And they're like, we want this. Well, I got to pay that shit to them. So I'm like, nah, you're not getting all that. But if you work for the government, that's not your money. And you're out of there in 2 years anyway. You're out of there in 4 years anyway. So now you're negotiating for some shit that isn't your money and it isn't even your job. You might be gone in a fucking heartbeat. You're not invested in that company. So that's why these unions body the government every single time.
And they need their votes to win.
Yo, son, they get these absurd pension things where they do this thing called like pension stacking, where the pension is matched for their last year of work.
Yeah.
And then the last year of work,
Oh,
you know what they do?
You've been talking to some
Keep
cops,
going.
son.
Oh, son, I be talking, bro. So the last year they're on the job, and I don't blame them for doing this. Work the system if you can, but
Crazy OT.
crazy overtime. So let's say you were making 70 grand. That last year, you try to bump it up to 150, and guess who's got to pay you 150 for the rest? Now, if you owned the factory, you think especially you think you ever settle in for that?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Spell no.
That's a good point.
Spell not interested.
We don't really respond to the word.
The pushback I would give you on that.
Yeah,
is
yeah.
that
Poke holes.
the government decides the budget.
Yep.
So if they don't have any skin in the game, it's like, oh, why do we need to pay these people? And then these people who are supposed to protect and serve can just make you look bad as a politician.
I got you. Ready? If you don't pay them enough, they will go do other jobs. Okay?
No, they will not. They'll do their job badly. Like say they'll just let crime happen.
Yep.
And then it looks like crime went up while
Under
this
your watch.
politician. Yeah. So now
100%.
it just gets them out of there for the next person to be like, yo, if you don't want that shit to happen, you better give us some money.
Yes.
So-
And that is an option. But if the money is so low, I don't even think they accept the job. For example, if they can make more money doing construction than they can risking their life as a cop, I think they just go do construction.
Okay.
So that free market actually makes you pay cops more, right?
Okay.
So if you create a system where cops have to take on more risk with their lives, right? Meaning you can't just go in guns blazing, you can't just shoot the second you're scared or whatever like that. You actually really got to protect yourself. If you do that, or actually really protect the public, keep going.
How do you do that? That's what we're talking about. Cops not going in guns blazing. We want to change that.
Change the culture. It's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough. And
Part of it has to be you're
That's
afraid
the
to lose your
main
job,
part we
but
need to change.
you said this yourself. The reason
So-
they're not afraid to lose their job is the union.
the union.
Yeah.
So if they're afraid to lose their job, right? Or they go, oh shit, I got to take that amount of risk. I ain't gonna do that shit. So now you got to increase the price so that people are willing to take the risk.
Yeah.
So
Nobody wants to ice road truck.
Higher base salary. That's another thing. I
increase
think
the price, but then also take away the union.
I don't think. Now listen, I've just started thinking about this,
I
so I
also
could
think-
be
yeah.
completely wrong. That being said, I don't think it should be legal. For example, the military cannot unionize against the government. The military can't go, "Hey, we ain't fighting, bruh." The fuck you ain't.
Yeah, that's true.
You fighting. So why, if the military can't do it, why the fuck the police can't? Why can the teachers? Why can all these people do it? It doesn't make any sense. You shouldn't be able to walk on your job if it's an essential job. Now, I'm sure people are listening right now. FA, you probably listen right now, you liberal pussy. And you could probably poke a lot of holes. Please poke holes in the argument if you can. But it just makes sense to me.
also,
Yeah.
cops making money, that's probably some shit you find out after you become a cop. When you're choosing a career, I don't know anybody that's like, I want to be a cop because it pays great. I don't know that person.
I mean, I was told that. That's why I lean towards law enforcement.
I think you got to like be inside.
Yeah, you have to
You got
know
a
somebody.
different idea of pay grade. if you're coming from like a working class neighborhood or a poor neighborhood and you got guaranteed money and that guaranteed pension, you're like 20 in and I'm out and I'm out at 100 for the rest of my life.
Yep.
That sounds fantastic.
So maybe that's what I'm saying. Maybe if you make the base higher, you start getting some guys white collar, think things through, a little bit pussy, not trying to shoot everybody like that. Like,
I mean, the
You gotta-
pussy,
you
the
gotta
pussy ones
attract-
are the ones shooting.
pussy ones
motherfuckers.
shoot.
yeah, but they're pussy, blue collar, ready to kill. Not like, I ain't killing nobody. I'm gonna put that to you right now. Even if you put a gun in my hand, I don't care how scared I am. I'll shoot myself. You know what I mean?
I hear what you're saying, but
gotta
really,
make enough money
the
to get
whole
some
thing is
pussies
just
to be
about
cops.
changing the culture, changing the system. It's like if you take guns out of the cops' hands, or less cops have guns, and so they don't approach a situation ready to shoot.
I like
that's
that
what
idea.
changes everything.
But I think there's a precedent for it. Like, remember when air traffic controllers all went on strike and they
Reagan, son. Yo, shouts to Reagan.
They all went
Outside of him fucking up black communities, that motherfucker had it, bro. Like, the air traffic controllers were like, we're going on strike. And he said, listen, pussy boy, if you go on strike, you're all fired. What'd that motherfucker do?
fired them.
All of them
Can't do that now.
brought in the military. The military ran air traffic control while they retrained new air traffic control people for like 2 years. So flights were dumb late and shit was fucked up for 2 years, but he wasn't having it. And then motherfuckers started going, oh, I don't know if I really want to walk out like
Could
that.
we do that with cops? If police union wants to strike, all right, go ahead. We got military.
They're too big.
Too big? That's why, I mean, that's,
The people out here are saying we don't need cops, so then what's the leverage?
Son.
If people are like, we don't need
Minnesota-
cops, all right.
But
now
now it's illegal for air traffic controllers to strike.
Hell yeah, as it should be.
that's what the
crazy.
idea is. If the cops want to strike, all right, you're all fired. We'll send a military, retrain people who can't strike.
Yeah.
Should be illegal, bro. You cannot
TSA,
strike.
TSA can't strike.
You cannot strike. Should not be able to unionize against the government. The interests are not aligned.
Now, having said that, TSA doesn't necessarily make me feel like they're protecting us, really. Like, when I look at a TSA agent, I'm not like, oh, I feel safe with you.
Sure.
So, there's,
But
you
let's
mean?
say there's no TSA at all. Like,
But it's not their job to protect us as the machines.
but they be letting the shit slide.
So just
What
back
machine
to,
does?
Oh, sorry. No, you go.
No, they're not very good. Like, every time they test the TSA to see if they're confiscating what they should, they're just like, they're not searching anybody. Mad shit will get through the machine. They'll just be like, yeah, whatever.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
What gets through the machine?
yeah, Akaash, what are you trying to say, bro? What are you
Yeah,
taking
dog.
through the machine, dude?
Yeah, don't do that. That's a dangerous game to play. That's a dangerous. Yo, Al used to sell drugs.
bro. You're out here like, hey, no, they let a lot of stuff go through.
I'll take it to this one. I get on a plane with a straight blade every time we fly.
With a straight blade.
Straight blade, like straight blade razor.
Akash, do you take your curvy sword when you fly?
I leave it at home.
Take your fucking gay knife. dude.
Fucking TSA don't let you kick that Aladdin shit on the plane. Shit. You gotta put that in a violin
They don't
case,
even let me
bro.
leave my pointy shoes on, dog. It's foul.
Oh, you gotta get that preacher.
You really take a knife on the plane?
No. So it's my straight blade razor that I use to shape my shit up,
Okay.
but it's in my carry-on bag.
Ain't no way robbing a plane with a fucking straight blade.
Son,
Bro, they probably play
9/11.
with box cutters.
Yo, real talk.
9/11 was the exact
Real
thing
talk.
that I have in my bag.
Real talk.
Yeah, what do you?
I'm gonna say it right now.
Oh boy.
All right. I just said some wild shit. So we need to cut that shit out.
Oh my God,
I
I'm
said
nervous.
some wild ass
Do
shit,
not
boy.
forget to edit
It
that
was,
out.
and I.
Holy fuck.
Anyway,
Even on Patreon, I had to let it slide on Patreon. But that's the only place you can have that conversation.
So
Friends.
I get on the plane
Yeah.
with a razor blade,
yeah,
and TSA misses that every single time.
but they don't miss it. They just know you're not doing shit.
That's bullshit. Like that's the main. Like, how do they know I'm not doing shit?
Black people don't hijack planes, bro.
All right.
You gonna start?
You never know.
Black
I could
people
be the
don't hijack
first. I
planes.
could be the
Name one
first.
plane black people hijack.
I could be the first.
Name a plane black people hijack. Go. And not Soul Plane. Name a real plane that black people hijack. Go.
Snakes on a plane. That don't count.
Snakes on a plane. Nah,
Samuel
come on,
L.
for real.
stole that movie away.
Black people don't hijack planes,
Yeah.
bro.
They're not gonna loot a plane. Come on,
Come
man.
on, son.
Walking out with a first class late flight.
they got mad biscotti cookies. Cough up them biscotti cookies. Fucking
Go get all the juices.
Sky waitress. Give me all them shits. I want the whole bottle of water. Nah. Give me the full bottle. Not this little ramekin.
Yo, that should be so funny.
What
The fucking they just loot the airplane.
Yo, son, it be lit. What?
Nah,
You're not looting planes. I'm not worried about anybody black looting a plane. I'm not worried about anybody Asian looting a plane.
We're not talking about looting the plane. We're talking
Who's
about
David Dow trying to do?
Oh, yeah, my bad, son. My bad. Not looting. You know what I mean? Stealing. What do you call it, Robin? What do you call it?
Hijacking.
Hijacking.
Yeah.
Why you gotta be all hijacking?
Because it's in the air,
Because
bro.
you're in the air, dude.
High.
But it's not. Do you know what I'm saying?
What? If you're not low, you're high.
But it's not called low jacking when you take a car.
No, that's what Louis C.K. did, bro.
Mark coming through the haymaker.
That's good. Fuck.
See that?
Now let's bring it.
Okay, we got to bring in our illustrious guests. I'm very excited to have this gentleman in right here. So we can take a break for a second, reorganize some shit. Unimportant information to tell you because you wouldn't have known the difference since you're not here. We're just going to edit that part out. I do look, Net, can I just say one thing?
Sure.
No?
Yeah, you can say
This
everything.
is the last, because this is all getting cut.
Yeah.
Given what we know now about people hijacking planes, okay? If somebody came up on the plane with a box cutter, they're like, the plane is mine. How do y'all say it? If they're like, the plane is mine, we're taking the plane.
Yeah.
You think we're standing for that?
Not now.
Not now. But it still is going to take
That's like
a
saying.
group of people.
Can I continue? If we know that, right? Why we got to take our shoes off?
What?
Let's bring in our guest, bro. All right, we're going to take a break for a second, pay some bills here. Now, save yourself some money, man. It's time to save money. Akaash, you like saving money, don't
Hell
you?
yeah, always.
Look,
Talk to me.
here's the deal. Now more than ever, we got to find smart ways to save some cash, put in our pocket. That can make a big difference. One way to do it is you simply save on things you already pay for, like home insurance. Okay? You own a home, you reshopping your home insurance rates with Policy Genius could save you a good chunk of change. And the best part, you barely need to lift a finger. Why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you save money without doing anything? That's the no-brainer, right?
It makes absolute sense.
Why don't you just look into it, find a way, if there is a better policy and you use Policy Genius to do that, you save
100%.
money. I mean, this is no-brainer, right? Everything we're doing for you guys on this podcast, no-brainer. I can't believe it. You won't have to sell anything. You just save money. You're being sold. You're selling them. Is that what's happening?
I don't know, but I know if you can save
Sounded
money on
right.
insurance, you got to do it.
First, head to policygenius.com and answer a few quick questions about yourself. The Policy Genius will compare your policy against options from top insurers to make sure you're getting the right home insurance coverage at the best possible price. Genius. If Policy Genius finds you a better rate than what you're currently paying, they'll do all the work to get you switched. Love it. Hate doing work. Own a car too? Policy Genius will compare your home and auto policies across different insurers and even mix and match to find you savings. They've saved customers on average $1,127 a year just doing that. Do you want to save $1,127 a year? Do you want to do that? Go to policygenius.com. Okay? Go get it. Policygenius.com. Make sure you go do it, and you know exactly who sent you over there. Flagrant 2. So go to policygenius.com and get you some money. Now let's get back to the show. All right, we're back, man. We have an illustrious guest in the building. I'm very excited. You might be our first official guest during Corona, but I'm very excited. We've been talking for a while. We've been trying to make this happen for a while.
Yeah.
You and I have been trying to get you down here 3 months now?
Yeah.
4 months maybe?
Yeah.
You were going to come around Corona,
Yeah, the same weekend that was supposed to happen.
and then they shut the border down.
Right.
Probably right decision to not do it in the moment. In retrospect,
No,
who
they didn't
knows?
shut the border down. It's the exact same situation as it was then. Here's what's fucked up.
Yeah. Well, I've got to say who you are.
Oh, well, go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah. So, you have a YouTube page, Abba and Preach.
Yeah.
We connected first when I was in Montreal, and I did your guys' show. It was absolutely crazy. Fucking 10,000 people or something like that. I didn't realize it was a family show. I told that story on this podcast, I think. Just families children running away, crying.
Yeah. Good moment.
I'm talking about ass eating. I think
So
it
that
was insane.
Being in the audience was the best part.
Just seeing parents put their ears over your hands over their ears.
but here's the thing: I didn't know it was clean because everybody went before me was speaking
Yeah.
French. So I don't know if they're saying
Speaking
dirty shit.
Quebecois.
Say what they were
Speaking Quebecois.
They were speaking that. Well, if no matter what French, I wasn't going to understand it.
But
Do you know what I mean?
maybe they didn't understand what the fuck you were saying.
Oh, they understood. Akash. They understood. Okay. Was
To help out, you know what I mean?
Was there? Okay. You do this amazing show. Was there backlash for that? By the way.
Nah. To be honest with you, you came to me backstage and you're like, yo, can I just do what I want? I was like, yeah, do whatever.
Y'all said I could.
Yeah, and here's the thing. It's like the initial show, which is like the 7 p.m., was like, yo, it's like family oriented. Once it gets dark, we told everyone this is an adult show. If you can stay with your kids at your own discretion. So I ain't mad at you at all for
Yeah, that's
that.
why y'all are great. And this is cool because it's not often you find somebody organically in this business. I organically found y'all. Then he brought you up, but your whole thing is like, I don't know, like we're not just canceling people for no reason. We're thinking shit through. So that's exactly why if you come to their show,
Right.
and it's like, look, if you see cussing, they're not gonna say anything. They're not gonna.
So you guys have this YouTube page. You guys upload how often?
Every day.
Daily.
Every day.
Abba and
Especially
Preach
once this pandemic hit, every day.
every day. I love it because I feel like you guys are this really interesting antidote to like the woke PC culture.
Yeah.
You're kind of like canceling cancelers. Does that make sense?
That's fair. That's
and
fair.
you're like fighting against like cuckery. Like
Yeah,
this-
simps is the
yeah,
term.
simps. Like y'all hate simp. Y'all hate dudes that don't get pussy. I don't understand that shit. But like every other video would be like, these motherfuckers that's not fucking. Fuck you. It's like they already know they're losers, dog. Like, you guys are gonna create some school shooters 100.
Probably.
100%.
Probably.
But it's really great because the internet is the only place where you're going to find this equal and opposite reaction to everything going on.
Yeah.
And we've obviously done it in the stand-up sense, but you guys are doing it in the journalistic sense. Like, I'll go to your shit if I don't know about something, I hit you up right before. I was like, you know about defunding the police?
Yeah.
That's a video I would watch of yours.
Okay.
And it's really interesting to see, and it's so cool that it sprouted up. And then I've been following your trajectory on YouTube, and you guys have been exploding.
Yeah. Yeah. Last 2 months, it's like we doubled everything.
Yeah, I feel like
Crazy.
now when I look at the view counts, it's like crazy now.
Yeah.
So this is Abba. We have Abba. Preach is not here. Preach got a family.
Yeah.
Shouts to Preach.
He's got responsibilities. He can't take these risks.
Yeah. What's up, Preach? Ça passe?
Sac passe.
Whatever the fuck
I
that
heard
is.
some crazy shit from Mike Ward, another Montreal comic, that Preach will like go to all these like countries and just like buy machetes and shit like that.
Yeah, that's
And-
an
and,
obsession.
like,
of his. When we were in Haiti and the riots happened and the whole country shut down, he had a machete ready on him. That's like a thing he does.
On deck.
yeah, and I
he's
heard
over
like
it.
motherfuckers tried to press him in Haiti or somewhere like that, and he just hopped out with his machete. Like, what's up?
Yeah, that was crazy. That was one of the most insane experiences. Like, if you ever, if you think like riots are crazy,
Yeah.
when you go to like a third world country where they shut everything down and they know how to riot, like we're amateurs. They know how to riot. They know how to riot.
Keep it going.
Okay, so
What do you
here's
mean?
a fucked up thing is like, so the World Cup was happening, and essentially the president put forth a law that would raise gas by like four times. And so what happened was, for a poor country, that's unacceptable.
Yeah.
They use that to get around.
This is in Haiti.
Haiti.
Yeah.
So they're big fans of Brazil. Brazil was playing Belgium, and once Brazil lost, the whole country was shut down. They enacted roadblocks everywhere. Everything was done. You couldn't move. And the whole country was essentially gridlocked. And we had to leave because we were just there to do shows. And we had to pass through these roadblocks, but there's people there waiting with machetes. So just to get out of the country was one of the craziest ordeals because there's no laws anymore. It's essentially what would it look like if police,
wild,
everything was gone here.
So police just said, fuck it, we out. That's defunding the police. So Haiti is defunding the police. And was it lit? Did anybody get fucked up?
Yeah, a lot of people died. A lot of people
So
died.
you kind of need police a little bit or what?
Okay, you want to get into defunding police?
Yeah,
right
let's
off the
get
top?
into defunding the police, bro.
Okay.
Such a drastic.
Come on, dude. He got his Democrat kente
This
cloth
motherfucker
sweater,
tells me
bro.
all
He's-
the time.
He's this Nancy Pelosi sent him that shit, bro. Come on.
motherfucker
You wanna
always
talk
tells me
about
off the
simping.
podcast.
Yeah, we not kneeling for 2-3 minutes.
Bro.
8.5, bro.
Akash made the best point. Isn't that the most disrespectful thing to do to George Floyd, bro? Take a knee.
Such bullshit. I hate that virtual signaling shit.
But also,
he was
like,
also saying that's how he died.
like,
Fair.
come on, yo,
Yeah.
what y'all doing?
Fair.
Be
You
respectful.
didn't like it when they all like laid on the cement like 2 inches from each other with like no masks on, and they're all like, "Man, let's do this for Floyd."
I didn't even
Wait,
watch.
what happened? What
That
was
was
that?
one of the ways they were going to commemorate Floyd. A lot of people just laid on the floor.
Yeah.
You didn't see that? You saw
Yeah,
that picture,
yeah.
right? Yeah, there's a whole
Yo,
bunch of weird
peaceful
stuff.
protesting is so gay, man.
Yo,
like, y'all
son.
gotta stop being peaceful.
This is how
Fucking
out of shape
gay.
Americans are.
That's some gay
They're
shit.
supposed to walk for a cause, and they're like, "Man, we gotta just lay this one out, guys." How far we walked already, bro? It was an hour. We cure leukemia. What's going on out here?
God.
Okay, so break down the defund and shit.
So, okay.
Because I look at you as a resource.
Okay, well, that's kind of scary because I don't consider myself one, so that's frightening.
Well,
but-
fuck,
you
man.
good? Nah, that's what the best resource is.
You ever look at you people like, man, you're so smart. And I'm like, nigga, I'm dumb. Like, I'm dumb as shit. Why are you looking to me for resources? But what do you guys understand about defunding? Because I've heard a lot of people talking about it, and I think a lot of people don't know
Seems
shit.
like just reallocating funds.
Yeah.
And
That's
if,
like
if
the
a
gist
police
of it.
budget is bloated, that seems to make sense.
Yeah.
If you're not effective at any job, your budget should get cut.
Yeah. So that's how I also understood it initially, but it goes a little bit deeper than that. I think a lot of the rhetoric online is like, what do you do if there's no more police? And I'm like, it's not that extreme,
Yeah,
right?
right.
And especially the changes that they want to make are gradual. They don't want to change it overnight where they just get rid of everyone and sign into
Right.
law. They want to make a gradual reduction and then essentially allocate those funds to other specialized professions.
Right.
So police officers themselves complain a lot, like they have too much to do.
Right.
Something bad happens at school, they send us. Mental health issue breaks down, they send us.
Mm-hmm.
Fires, they send us. They send us for a lot of different things that we shouldn't be doing. And so the idea behind this is like, all right, well, let's take money away from them, put it towards specialized units, and then that way we can cater to the public better. And I like that idea.
Question. If they're just focusing on policing the public,
Right.
aren't they going to kill more black people? Like they were distracted with the school
Right.
and the homeless people.
Right. Right.
Now you make
Now we
them,
got the time.
Yeah.
Now we got
it's like, you know, crack. You know, like it seems to me it could be a dangerous thing to do to give them less stuff to do and then one singular focus.
Right. Right. Then you hope that they're better trained. And if they're not, then
How do you
we're
train
fucked.
someone not to just shoot somebody?
I think you can train that.
Yeah.
How?
Yeah. I mean, like,
What's the training?
I mean, you can train somebody to shoot someone. You could probably train somebody to not shoot someone.
Yeah.
How would you do it?
Son, I don't know. I'm not a police chief.
Son,
Like,
there's de-escalation, communication. There's
all
like
that shit.
Come on, like what are you talking about?
What do those mean?
Mediation. There's
Never seen
literally.
escalator, bro.
So de-escalation.
opposite
What's
of
that?
that,
What's that mean?
So every time you've had a problem in your life, the way you've dealt with it, that's what that means.
Yeah.
because you've never shot somebody up to this day.
Because I don't have a gun.
That's what we're saying.
But if I had a gun,
That's
it's going to be
so.
escalated.
There should be a lot more police without
It's
guns.
gonna be
Boom.
escalated,
Problem
Al.
solved.
It's going to be, but not everybody should have a gun. I get that.
Yeah.
I just don't understand the. Look, I'm sure it's possible. You can go, you can train it, of
Right,
course.
right.
I just don't know how the fuck you go about doing it. And
I mean, de-escalation happens all the time. Like a fucking couples counselor just de-escalates. That's
Right.
all they do.
about Akaash. Talk about it, dog.
Hey,
Talk
hey, you
about
go
it,
to
dog.
couples counseling, son?
Hey, talk about
they
it, dog.
be de-escalating, yo.
What's the first way they de-escalate?
Hey, why don't you just step outside for a couple minutes?
And that's what they usually tell the black people in the car.
Yeah, so-
and then they end up dead, bro.
is
That's why you
de-escalation.
can't. That's why you can't do this, dude.
Hey,
You can't do. You trying to get black people killed.
yo, you know what? I'm gonna go back in the car for a minute. I'm gonna see how I feel. That's the kind of- I'm gonna go back in the car for a minute. Let me take a minute.
breather.
So we need a different word for defund so we can all get on the same page.
It's got to be better marketed.
I think this is the way that people interpret it. They just went to an extreme, you know, and it's
Right.
not necessarily that. Sometimes things are not well branded, but it doesn't mean what you think.
But how would you rebrand it? Because that's what we're trying to figure out. You can't say defund because then everybody's like, "What? There's no more cops." We all freak out.
But it is what they're doing. They are essentially defunding them, but just not completely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
Maybe like replace the police.
Replace the police sounds worse.
That's not gonna work
that's
either.
terrifying.
Yeah.
Why?
You know what I
Replace
made
it
me
with
think
what?
of? It made me think of the lawyer who's like, guys, we have to film all the cops. And he's like, hashtag shoot the cops. And that's what he put out.
You can literally call it like
Sounds accurate, but it's not.
specializing the police force or some shit like that. Like we're gonna reallocate
Special
funds.
That's fire.
Special teams.
Specialize the police.
Yeah.
I like that.
Man,
And
you
then-
guys are just
Reform.
dumbing down Americans so hard. Like, you're not even forcing them to like make any kind of informed research.
Nah, they won't.
You know what I mean? You don't think that someone should read a headline and be like, I'm going to read a little bit further. No, you guys
No,
want
Bro,
to make
we
the headline.
voted for a reality TV star, bro.
yeah,
Like,
dogs. Come on, we're totally different than Canada.
That's true.
You know, you guys have like a real qualified politician that's running your country, right? With tons of political experience and zero nepotism. And
I see the sarcasm. I see you, bro. I thought you were being serious at
Even
first. I'm
your
like, yo,
French-
this piece of shit.
I mean, he's got real life experience. You know, in the bit. Like, how many jobs has he had? Oh yeah, he hasn't had any.
He hasn't had to have any.
Even your language is just dumbed down French. How you got a problem with dumbing things down?
Yo, how do you think people talk about Americans in England?
The same way the fucking French talk about y'all.
Yo.
Yeah, so we're not so far apart.
That's what I'm saying.
They're not allowed to open their mouths about us in England.
That's true.
We ended at 1776. Hey, bro, if you want to talk about it, be about it. Come on back. Catch these hands again, bro.
Yo, we the first Brexit.
They're going to be able to
Real
soon.
talk.
If you guys keep getting fucked up like this, they're going to be able to soon.
You think?
I think so. I think, you know what? You know, there's a rise and fall of every civilization. I think
This might be
America
our
is seeing
time.
its decline.
We might have to get him out of here.
That's why I crossed the border.
That's
Great.
Okay,
Here's something genuinely fucked up. So I came here, right? I came here,
You
right?
experienced some racism?
Not yet. I'm excited for it, though. You know what I mean?
We can start now if you
wanna
want to.
Mark, roll up your sleeves.
You keep talking shit about America. So the border's shut down, technically speaking, right?
Yeah.
It's only, here's the thing. Americans, you guys can't come to Canada at all. You can't fly, you can't drive, you can't ferry up
Y'all
there.
ain't gonna build no wall though, pussies. Y'all really backing yourself.
Let's go.
We don't need one.
Yeah, we come whenever we want, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Love to see that, though. I wouldn't mind seeing that.
Yo,
you guys
we
come
gotta
up here,
we
starts
gotta
to get a
run
little
back
cold.
that 1812. What was the war that we had with Canada?
You guys had a war with Canada?
Yeah, I think there was a war.
I don't know.
Some battle with Canada.
Man.
Mark's Canadian, by the way.
His parents are, right?
Yeah, my parents. I'm American, bro.
Yeah, boy.
100%.
That's what I'm talking about.
How do you handle him calling you Gagnon all the time, though?
That's his choice, bro. He identifies as that.
Yeah, yeah, bro. That's why my parents fled that country, bro. We had to come to where we're free.
Man, I get so annoyed every time you say Gagnon. I'm like, nigga, it's Gagnon.
Nah, dude. We're not doing...
Because you know your name went from like winner to like, I might suck dick. That's how triggered. Like, I'm angry for you.
Oh my god!
Because Gagnon's winner in French.
It's a winner both ways, bro. You're winning both ways, dog.
Pissed me off.
thought about that shit.
No, gagging is like losing. That's like your vocal cords giving up. Your throat being like, I'm out.
Yo, he looks genuinely upset. Like, damn, I didn't think of that.
Damn. That's fucked up, dude.
Yeah, when you
He's just mad he didn't think about that joke for his own name.
Dude.
hey man, you can have it.
I thought
can't use that shit for
Gagnon
sure.
meant waiter.
That's Garcon.
Oh, garçon is waiter. I thought that's why he changed it so easy. But Gagnon, that's a kind of fire
He
name.
needs to win.
Yeah, garçon actually means boy.
Garçon.
Yeah, means
Oh,
boy.
then why do you go
sometimes
garçon?
because they're basically, it's like they're looking down on them a little bit.
Whoa.
Yeah. Well, this is already.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how did that shock you?
Garçon was also just like, it's in that same
That's
vein.
you gotta but
Yeah, Drew, you should.
Yo, what's up
probably
with you when you
stop
snap your
calling Mark
fingers? How come that shit
Yeah.
coils back like that?
come on, bro.
Yeah, stop
long as
snapping
you
at
don't
me,
You
go-
bro.
stay losing. nigga.
Come on, bro. This is my Black Lives Matter snap, bro. Come on, we out here.
But you don't
Keep
say
it going, girls. I learned this at the parade, bro.
Just the way the wrist rolls back, I always look at that shit suspect. Like if a guy's like, yes, I'm excited. Like that shit.
You know how much better this was than like how Schultz's used to snap their wrists?
How they used to do it.
It was very bad. We can't recreate.
Yeah, just make sure you say garçon and not boy. Okay.
Yes. Okay, so where were we? Defund the police.
Right.
Can we talk about Canada getting involved in this shit? And like,
Right.
didn't they break stores in Montreal and shit?
Yeah, there's a couple of anarchists. You know what I mean? There's a couple people similar to
People
what's
message
happening
me saying cops are racist in Montreal, though.
Yeah. Well, I was telling Schultz about this, but we had our own riots in Montreal over a police killing. And, you know, there was a lot of looting.
Who did the police kill?
A man named Villanueva. So this happened in Montreal North. And
Yeah.
essentially they shot him. And then there was protests. And then her protests turned violent right afterwards. And it was a big thing. And then a lot of reform came afterwards. So it's not an
what
issue
type
that's-
of reform?
Well, essentially, they just handled how police investigate themselves, which is already a little fucked up. And then,
Yeah, why are you investigating yourself?
That's what we do here. That's one of the main problems.
Yeah, we got to reform that.
yeah.
We do.
Yeah, so
Get it out of here. No more for what is it? Investigating yourself? No.
yeah.
Keep going.
So that happened, and we have a long-standing history of just problems with the police. There's like studies that came out that showed the racial bias and racial profiling was like very explicit stuff. So
Yeah.
it's a well-known problem in our city.
So some shit happened here, and y'all were like, "Oh,
We
that
jump it
also
on.
affects us."
That's right.
Okay. Do you think sometimes black people in Canada adopt a black American identity because they don't really feel a connectivity to blackness outside of like where they're from, their
Yeah.
parents from?
Yeah. Well, I think that's most second-generation English-speaking black people.
In the world.
In the
you're
world, because America, like, well, that's one thing that I think Americans don't realize. Like, you guys do a great job of exporting your culture.
saying. Oh, we know. We know.
Yeah, so when I'm in Ethiopia and I see a New York Yankees hat on some like poor village kid, I'm
We
like,
only
yo,
send you guys the losing hats. And that's not the Yankees. Okay?
I definitely see mad Yankee shit everywhere I go.
Nah. That's Mets.
I'm not familiar with baseball enough to know. But yeah, you guys do a great job of exporting. So I think as a result, people learn to identify with that because their environment, they have a hard time identifying with it.
Yeah.
But they see the like black American culture everywhere and they're like, yo, I can speak, that speaks to me to some degree. So they identify with that.
Now, your background is Somali.
I'm Ethiopian.
Oh, you are Ethiopian.
Yeah. I know
Okay.
the forehead fooled you, but yeah, I'm Ethiopian.
No, your shit is all right. You don't have too big a forehead.
Taking a long stare, like, is it though?
I was looking. I was making sure.
He's questioning himself, making sure.
Now, when you're in Ethiopia, are you Canadian?
No.
They treat you as an Ethiopian.
Thing is, I was raised over there.
Oh, so you're Ethiopian.
Yeah. So my childhood was mostly over there. Yeah. Yeah. So I got a bit of a different experience.
Right. But the experience that some people who are second generation, they go back home, they don't really feel.
Yeah, no, they get called, like in Haiti, it's a weird word, but they say blanc, which means white. So even though you might be black, they consider you white as a saying you're a foreigner. You're not from here.
Yeah, when I go to India, they think I'm an American.
Yeah, Akaash has spoken about that. Like, you didn't feel American until you were.
Until I went to India. I find myself defending America in India.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, fuck you, poor ass India. And like,
You're like, wait a minute.
Yeah, how did I get here so fast?
Interesting. Yeah, it's just an odd thing that's happening. You see it all around the world, and there was like protests in Rome, and
Yeah.
I feel like, I don't know, what is your take on this? Like, that maybe the protest has grown outside of just the black struggle, but anybody's struggle with authority.
Yeah.
And is that a concern? Because when more people take part of it and they have their own objectives, does that take away from the specific, does it become, in a weird way, all lives matter-esque? Because there are all these lives that want something from.
I don't think so. I think, one thing that people have to keep in mind is like inequality is what drives a lot of these issues, even for like racial issues here.
Yeah.
Like if there wasn't as much income inequality, a lot of these racial issues would disappear.
Right.
So I think in a time where it seems like inequality is so rampant everywhere,
Yeah.
people see black people struggle and they kind of resonate with their own issues with authority. And so I think it's a good thing. I don't think it waters it down, to me personally, because you seeing solidarity and people protesting all at the same time. I do think it's good, but I can understand your hesitation with
I
it.
think in
I'm just
America,
concerned- yeah, go.
I think in America, you got to keep the focus for until something gets done on Black Lives Matter.
That's what
'Cause
I
when
think,
I saw fucking Ocasio-Cortez tweet back at the Redskins to change their name when they tweeted Black Lives Matter, it's like, yo, chill on that.
Right. Yeah.
We got priorities right now. Black Lives Matter. Trans people, you don't like using the bathroom. Let's wait on that.
Everybody's hopping
that's
on.
hold until black people stop getting killed by cops.
Yeah.
And the more you start tagging on to shit, the more exit ramps it gives people to not care.
Not care.
That's what
Yes.
happened with so much of PC culture is like, yeah, we all agree people deserve equal rights, but at a certain point, so many people are complaining. It's like, you know what? I'm done. Fuck all this.
Well, here's a caveat though. A lot of the people who are protesting, even here in America,
yes,
aren't necessarily all that crazy about necessarily the Black Lives stuff, but they are angry, period. And so their numbers and their added numbers, don't you think that's a benefit?
Yeah, but we keep the focus on Black lives. Once
As
you
long
start
as we have
throwing
a
your
singular
other shit in there,
focus.
nah, bruh, we're good on that.
Because the crazier the request gets, the more easy it is to dismiss.
Yes.
So defund the police is actually really reasonable when it's described. As it's like stated, it sounds absurd. And
Yeah.
I think most people just really only read headlines, right? Obviously. So maybe some better branding, some better marketing with that. But as they get more grandiose of things that, like, some people are saying literally abolish the police. Like, let's get rid of police.
Yeah, that I disagree with.
But what's going to happen is like enough people are going to ask for it, and now you're going to get division in this group. Let's everybody get on the exact same page, exactly what we want, and then let's just ask for that until we have it.
Well, I think what happens is like the way we see defund the police, and we go, "Oh, that's stupid." There's people that sit left that go, "Oh, defund the police, yeah, let's abolish it."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they read the headline too and didn't go into it, and then they jumped to their own stupid conclusion. Where
Everybody reads headlines. The number one news source in the world is Twitter. That's why you got to market the shit.
Right.
Specialize the police force.
And so now you have these dumb
Yeah.
people that are like, no, we'll all just live in harmony, abolish the police. And it's like, you don't even know what side, like your side's putting up points and you're not even fighting for the points. Like,
Yeah. It's just it's a tricky, it's like we're in this weird battle, right? Where a few years ago, we all started kind of pushing back against like the woke PC shit, right?
Yeah.
And now we're seeing the other side of that coin, which is the bigots. Not like
Yeah.
we haven't seen them before, but now they're like really showing themselves,
Emboldened,
right?
yeah.
But they're pretty much the same ideology, just flipped. The ideology is essentially, I want the world my way, nobody else's way, and I'm entitled to having it my way. And if you don't agree with me, we should get you the fuck out of here.
Right.
That's how racists
That's a
think,
really
and that's
good
how
point.
PC motherfuckers think. It's the Matrix shit. It's like the more powerful Neo gets, the more powerful Agent Smith gets, or whatever. And I think that's what we're fucking seeing again. And we have the exact same animosity to both of them.
Yeah.
Like I'm sitting here going, I hate both of these motherfuckers. Why do I hate them? Oh, because you're this same fucking person.
Dog, Rush Limbaugh said this. He said people think politics is on a spectrum.
Yeah.
It's more of a loop.
Give me an example.
And it's not like far left and far right and it goes this way. It travels like a loop. And then at the extremes, they both just kind of meet. Extreme right and extreme left are the same person.
Yeah.
It's a loop. You just grew up in different neighborhoods. That's all.
Yeah.
Only difference between you. Same mentality.
Yeah, that extremism is the characteristic.
Yeah.
If you were in that different neighborhood, you would be prone to those beliefs.
The thing
There's
that makes
something missing in there,
the extreme right more dangerous is you guys are
I'm
pro
just
gun.
scared, bro.
You're pro
You're just
gun.
scared. They came
Oh
after
yeah.
Akaash.
Oh, yeah.
Did they?
Yeah.
Death threats and everything was big.
Yeah, 100% scary because
Yeah,
you
yeah.
hate brown people and you're pro gun.
Akaash soft, bro.
Yeah.
Akaash
A little
scared,
bit,
bro.
a little bit. I'm gonna buy a gun. Y'all got me.
Scared,
Hey,
bro.
gun control. Y'all lost this one. Y'all lost
Yeah.
one right now. Y'all done lost one. I'm gonna keep
as
it
your
a
life's in
buck
danger.
out this bitch.
Yeah.
Y'all lost one.
You copping a gun, bro?
Bruh, I was like, I wasn't super gun control to begin with. I was like,
Yeah.
I see why people would have them.
for
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you need an automatic assault rifle or whatever, but now I might just have a bazooka at my fucking house. You know what I mean? Like,
you need to go straight Indian, have a fucking cobra and a flute. Dog, if you had a cobra and a flute, dog, real talk, you
that
put
would
that
scare
shit.
the shit out of anybody.
Everybody,
A basket,
bro.
yo? Don't
Son,
even gotta be a real.
basket, ain't no cobra in it.
Just,
And you just got a little maraca in there that you move around and a flute right next to it. Nobody breaking into your fucking house.
yo, you're right
That's
about
better
it.
than a watchdog. You gotta watch Cobra.
You know the people that put the Brinks sticker on their house? That would be my version.
The Somalis are coming after me right now.
Oh
Yeah, I
yeah, because
heard
that joke
that.
that you did about the
Clit
clit.
shit came back up, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why
Too bad.
is-
Too bad those clits can't come back.
Yeah, what is so...
Look how
Isn't it
cocky
weird
these
that-
Ethiopians are knowing they got
Yo.
clits. He laughing
I'm not
at
gonna lie.
them.
I'm not gonna lie. Nah, my country's good on the genital mutilation shit.
Yeah, y'all don't do that shit.
Yeah.
Why? Because you're 50-50?
Because I think one is religion. We're not the same religion. Like a lot of Christians, a lot of Jews and shit in my country. So
Yeah, the
it's-
diversity. In
How big of a problem is it
Yeah.
in Somalia?
Depends who you ask. I think Sam Harris said
96. That sounds crazy.
98% of women in Somalia
sounds
get their
insane.
clits cut.
Are you sure
I'm
it's Somalia or is not Sudan?
no, Somalia, they said. But I was like, how you calculate that?
Yeah, that seems...
You can't go around measuring pussies. That's an insane thing to do. Like, where do you get that stat?
No, it make no sense. I don't believe it.
Probably just self-reported. Hey, has your clit been cut off? And you're like, that's probably how I see it happening. But I'm not surprised that they're coming for you.
Why?
I feel like me, even where I'm from, I want to live back in Ethiopia, but I would not want to do stand-up back there.
Really?
Because you get thrown in jail. You've probably been to certain countries where you can't joke about certain things.
India is super sensitive. It's a lot of people
Yeah.
who don't have access to anything, even education, but they got access to internet now. So like they're gonna throw out opinions on this shit, and they don't understand a lot of like
I don't think it's
what
education.
stand up is or whatever.
I don't think it's education, though.
What is it?
It's really just cultural sensibilities. There's just some things that are taboo. Like you don't play on God over there. You don't make fun of the press. Like if you go to Dubai or like Saudi Arabia, you can't make fun of the royalty. You know, there's just
Thailand,
places,
I heard
there's
you-
rules in places.
This is interesting. And yeah, in Thailand, like you
Make
do
fun
not
of the
talk about
emperor.
the
You
king.
literally
yeah,
get thrown
the
in jail. The
Yeah.
king, yeah.
This is an interesting thing, and this is Mark was telling me about this the other day. This is why like social media policing and social media policy
Right.
is so interesting, because you're developing a singular policy for the world, because the world is on Facebook, the world's on Instagram, the world's on Twitter, but the world has very different values.
Yes.
Right? So what is completely acceptable and tolerable in America is not in Ethiopia in a lot of cases. So if you kick someone off Twitter for some shit in America, like, oh, you use the wrong pronouns or whatever fucking dumb shit there are, and then people in Ethiopia are like, you could be a boy? You know what I'm saying? What do you mean you could be a boy? That's not even on their radar. Right? So how the fuck do you create one policy for a global company?
I don't think you do.
You just do it based on American
I think
values,
everybody's
more or
in
less?
their
Yeah.
own space.
Yeah.
There's everybody, even within America, there's all these different internet worlds that we don't know exist.
Yeah.
And they got their own policy.
That's interesting. So you want to go back to Ethiopia, huh?
Yeah.
And what is
honestly.
that? Do you want to be in politics over there?
Nah, because I just like the quality of life. So for me, it's just like if I make
Really?
quality of life is great.
For
Yeah.
everybody?
No, not for everybody.
Yeah, I
but
was
if you
gonna
got
say,
some cheddar, you know what I mean.
Yeah. You got
But
servants and shit.
Yes, yeah. It's much easier life, much more calm. A lot of things that I don't necessarily like always about the West, but the liberties are more important to me than that quality of life, because I think the liberties that we have here matter to me more than just that comfort that I would be able to experience. So that's why I'd want to go back for more than anything. And it's not like uncommon. There's a lot of people who do that.
And so you think you'll do that eventually?
No, because I love doing stand up, and so for me, I just couldn't imagine living in a country where I could potentially go to jail because I made the wrong joke.
Yeah.
You know, and to be fair, my country, Ethiopia specifically, is far more progressive than some other countries. That being said, that is something I worry about. Yeah.
Yeah, there's something about I was watching this video. I forget the fucking philosopher, but he basically said, he's like, if there's just one religion, it's tyranny. If there's two religions, it's war. And if there's more than two, everybody gets along.
Yeah.
Because you gotta find a way to kind of like work with each other. But when you don't have that like diversity of religion, you don't really have to accept anybody else's beliefs. So maybe a place like Ethiopia, which just because of history is quite diverse in terms of religion. Like, don't you have Ethiopian Jews?
Yeah, we got a lot of Jews in Ethiopia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So somebody made it down, like Joseph's nephew or something made it down to Ethiopia way back in the day, right?
Yeah, we got ancient relics for like Jewish ancient relics in the north. It's crazy.
Dude, and that weird church that's like underground that I think Indians made.
I don't know if it's necessarily Indians, but yeah, I know which church you're talking about. Yeah, it's a country with like a lot of, like the oldest human ever recorded is found in Ethiopia. Lucy.
Really?
Lucy, I believe. Yeah. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of Lucy's a weird name for.
Yeah, why is it some white
white
name?
name?
I was like, you couldn't give her an Ethiopian name.
The first sitcom bitch you get named after. Come on, yo. Come on, yo. She already got that. Give her first. You know what I mean?
They said it was because they were listening to Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds when they discovered the remains.
Ah, sure.
So that's what they said. And then they were like, Lucy.
Still don't fuck with it, but yeah, I'm not mad at it.
When do
How about Diamond? That's a black girl name.
Yeah, should have done
You know what I
that.
mean?
also they got him in Africa? Y'all chose the wrong fucking part of that song.
You think Diamond's a trigger word in Africa? They're just like, yo, stop that shit, yo. That shit has haunted my life.
Bro, we gentrified
Diamond's not
relics.
forever for you. That shit's a cutting our lifespan dramatically, actually, now that you mention it.
Congo.
Yeah, what do they propose with in Africa?
What was that?
Like, what do they propose
What do they
with?
propose
Like,
on? They lost their arm getting cut off in diamond trade. But you fucking...
Listen, if she don't got a hand, she don't need a ring.
It's a nice toe ring.
Okay, here's a question.
Yeah.
Where does in Africa, when do you think blackness begins and Arabness ends?
Ooh.
Oh, that's
Because we were
easy.
having this discussion before,
I'm trying to figure this out.
which is
ahead.
like we've divided people based on continents because it usually kind of works out like that. Like Asians are in Asia and it works like that. But then again, you go to parts of Asia and they're not. You go to like the Russian parts of Asia and they look white, right? You look at the Indian parts of Asia, they're Indian, right?
Yeah.
Everybody that's in Africa just is assumed as black, right? Because we look at Africa as the black continent.
Yeah.
But in North Africa, especially when I was in Egypt, yeah, you see black Egyptians, but you see white Egyptians.
Yeah, for sure.
What, do you think that there's like a line where
Rami
you go,
self-identifies as Arab.
Rami is Arab.
He's Egyptian.
Yeah.
But self-identifies as Arab.
And like he's from Africa, but he can't drop that N-bomb.
Yeah.
So like, I basically, what's the N-bomb line? Where's the Mason-Dixon line for the N-bomb?
What's the 51st parallel
Real
for
talk.
the N-bomb?
When is it safe?
That's a good question. When people talk about Africa, first they just see it as like a homogenous continent.
Of course.
They just see it as So what do Africans think? Not recognizing like Ethiopians and Somalians who are neighbors don't think alike whatsoever.
At all. Yeah.
So it's a hard one to tell you, but yeah, North Africa is a good indication. Like they consider themselves different. They might call themselves African, but not nearly as much enthusiasm. And then Horn of Africa is also different. Like Somalians, Ethiopians, we feel different from Central Africans or South Africans. So,
but when you are in the West, you'll use the N-word.
yes.
And North Africans, if you're Algerian or something like that, I would assume less so.
Man, I don't know what circles you guys hang around, but I know plenty.
They dropping it?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And they feel.
But y'all got Asians here who drop it.
Yeah, it's wild. Every
Oh no,
Indian
we're not
says it.
talking when I'm talking about when black people are around.
Even when black people.
Everybody uses it, but it's like, what?
It's mad awkward being with a bunch of Indians. They're all just saying the N-word, and I'm like, none of y'all would say this of a black person.
Wait,
Yeah.
they actually do that?
Oh, dude.
Yeah. And then the weirdest defense
We were in
is,
Koreatown. I saw them dropping that shit.
Asians be dropping. He's right. Asians drop it.
Yeah.
And the weirdest defense is my black friend lets me say it. And it's like, I don't say it around a black stranger, and then I'll be like, okay, now I see. Okay,
Let's
you
see
got
how
something
confident
here.
you really are in that
Yeah.
word.
Yeah, it makes me think of Rich Chigga. Remember him? The rapper?
Rich
No.
Chigga, the Asian dude.
Oh,
Yeah, he changed
Yes.
his name recently because he got enough backlash about it.
Yeah.
But he basically was just saying,
Rich Brian, he calls himself now.
yeah. But remember, and he had a great line. He's like, "You don't want to fuck with a chigga like me." And I remember just laughing so hard because he got around saying nigga, but he still said it.
Yeah.
That's a funny one. But yeah, they say it all the time.
It
And
is
here's the thing: in Africa too, it's like it's not the same thing. We don't have the same history, so the relation to that word is not the same. If you go around Africa as a white person, you're like nigga, black people they won't care.
Really?
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend you go do it just in case you get filmed,
But because you guys probably have your own words that are way more painful.
not necessarily. We don't have the same colonial history, so no.
Yeah, y'all shipped out the ones with the colonial
Well,
history.
Ethiopia specifically doesn't, but there are tons of places that do. Yo, how did y'all body out everybody? How'd you never get
Have you
colonized?
been to Africa, B? Have you seen those jungles?
Yeah, I've
it
been.
was hard for those Italians who used to sunny fucking countrysides to be like a rainforest. You know what I'm saying? That's a difficult thing to navigate.
But they bodied everywhere else. Why is it Ethiopia's the one spot that they couldn't colonize?
Because we live in mountains. It's a mountainous country. It is impossible to traverse. And we were patient. You know what I mean? We hid in the bushes. We dragged that shit out. It wasn't instantaneous. We beat them back like 3-4 times, but they were long campaigns.
And you knew it, and it was just part of the culture. We're like, we're not going to get bodied no matter what.
I don't think it was necessarily part of the culture, but they just fought and they just kept fighting and they just didn't stop. And it's like, war is not always about just direct conflict. Sometimes it's just a matter of attrition.
Yes.
You wait the other group long enough and their supply lines dry out.
Yup.
They can't stay here long enough. So war's complicated. It's expensive.
That's what people need to realize with these fucking protests.
Yeah. It's going to be a process.
Dry out the money supply. Like, I think it was, I think George Washington has a losing record in battles. He's the most famous general who's trash. But the idea behind the Revolutionary War was we can't beat them, but we can make them broke. So stretch this motherfucker out as long, stalemate, and eventually they're just going to go
It's
away.
not financially worth it.
Exactly, and that's probably Vietnam. Anytime you see a big empire lose a war, it's not because they can't just keep killing people. It's like, is this worth the money? Can I afford to keep killing? How much shit am I really going to get?
At the same time, I was thinking about these protests. I'm like, these cops are on the sidelines,
Getting
probably happy as
overtime.
fuck because they're getting so much overtime.
Yeah.
Just to stand there.
They're like, defund the police. He's like, ha,
Yeah.
1.5 pay.
Son, it's crazy.
They're literally extra funding the police.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yep.
What do you think? You think that you think cops have the right to be furious about the way they're getting treated right now?
By who?
By the protesters and by the sentiment? Like just the overall sentiment?
Yeah, a little bit. But then ones that can empathize, I feel they probably understand. But the ones that it's harder for them to empathize with others, outside of their own group, they probably feel resentment.
And I feel like you could police each other a little better. Like I always hear cops being like, "Hey, we want this guy to get prosecuted just as much as you." I don't hear a lot of Minneapolis cops coming out and saying, "No, Derek Chauvin needs to go to jail." That needs to happen. Like you'll say that when it's another precinct and you don't know the guy. It's impressive to me and it's noble to me when it's your precinct and you're like, "Yo, this guy killed somebody. He should pay the price." Cops always say that, hey, there's great cops. Most of us are great. We want punishment for the bad cops. That was awful. But when it's somebody you know, you don't say shit. And that's different.
Yeah, the silence is weird. I was talking about this on Rogan that I look at Bernie Sanders in that way.
Yeah.
Like he's one of the good cops that just won't talk about the bad cops.
Yeah.
And like the DNC fucks him every single primary.
Brutal.
Brutal, right?
Brutal.
And
It's hard to watch.
He's just silent.
Yeah.
But he's silent every single time. It's like, okay, well, you're complicit now. You're letting it happen.
Yeah.
Do you look at American politics like that? And like, do you see, is this just like a show to you guys? Is it all entertainment? Is it confusing?
No, because I think a lot of the problems that happen here are reflected in other countries. That's why people resonate with it so much. It's not just watching from afar, like, what the fuck? To some degree, people can understand a lot of their frustrations. It's like, yo, we feel like we're in a two-party system in Canada as well.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's the same issue in a lot of different places. So
Right.
whatever you guys are going with, it's just broadcasted to everyone else. So it's like days of our lives for us.
Yes. Now, when you're doing stand-up, do you think, like, when people come out, are they expecting what's in the videos?
Sometimes, like if you get a YouTube audience, like they've never, you probably had this happen. Like people come to your show and they've never seen stand up before.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, I didn't think it was gonna be like this."
I thought you were going to talk about Amanda Seals.
That does happen. Sometimes people will scream some shit out at a show, but you just cultivate the audience and you make them realize what stand up is, and then they warm up to it and they're like, "Oh, I actually like this shit."
Yeah.
It's crazy how many people have never been to a stand up comedy show, but they see someone they like, even if the person's never done comedy, they'll be like, "I'll pay $50 to go see it." That's a weird thing.
They want to be in the same room as you.
Yeah.
I think that's really what it comes down to. And it's just interesting. You're in a unique space because the thing that you're doing is funny, but the first intention is not to be funny. It's funny because you guys are funny.
Right.
Yeah.
Not because you're like, oh, I'm writing these punchlines.
Yeah, well, we don't rehearse anything. Like,
Yeah, you just
so it's
go.
just we have the idea and then we just start talking, and then we edit it down.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I want to ask you something though.
Yeah.
Just the way you guys do shit. Do you guys ever feel like you sacrifice the conversation for the jokes every now and then?
Sacrifice the conversation for the jokes.
Yeah,
What does that mean?
meaning sometimes you guys are delving into serious shit.
Yeah.
and sometimes it just goes off on a tangent with
Yeah.
some funny shit, and
Yeah.
it's dope. It's fun to watch.
Yeah.
But do you guys ever feel like you have that
It's a good
sacrifice?
question.
I'm sure there's been times afterward where I'm like, I wish we visited that more. But the thing we're trying to harness is the fun. We're always trying to tap into the fun.
Yeah.
So if we both have the understanding, that's the idea of flagrancy. Is we're not going to sacrifice fun because something could be offensive.
Right.
So as long as we keep that as like our North Star, then I think we're good.
Yeah. There's a lot of resources out there for like straight information and facts.
Right.
And we're giving you perspective.
Right, that's fair.
We're not trying to give you the fucking data.
Yeah.
We're just giving you perspective, and it could be wild and crazy. And when we're becoming more like journalistic, I think we're having less fun, and I think it's not there. That being said, I think if you're just goofy all the time, that becomes the norm, and it's no longer fun. You still need something to be juxtaposed against. You know, like I think our funniest moments come oftentimes when it's a serious conversation.
And it goes left fast.
Yeah, because it's not expecting it. Like if we take a goofy topic, right, something that's already silly, and we try to be silly on top of it, it's like a peanut butter jelly sandwich, but it's only jelly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's just you're just missing that something that you could bounce it. But when we got like the serious conversation that we cut off of this podcast, but it was earlier, like that's a real heavy topic.
Right.
So the tension's thick.
Yeah.
And wherever there's tension, there's going to be some funny. But it's a good question. Like when you're joking around about shit, can you not get to the meat?
Yeah, well, I only ask because like I can tell you guys care about some of the topics you bring up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so it's funny to just see that juxtaposition, and then it just goes left, and I enjoy it a lot.
Yeah.
But I always have that frustration sometimes with myself, like because our shit can go left sometimes too.
Yeah.
And it's, a lot of times I have to edit it out or like put in the extra footage. But yeah, I'm always trying to find that balance.
That's the coolest thing about this like rant show that we've been doing.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like the coolest thing about it to me is that when I just do stand up
Right.
and I do a bit, I can't explain the real meaning behind the bit afterwards because they're like, no, we're here for comedy. Like, what are you doing giving a fucking TED Talk about this, right? But the cool thing about this is that when we're putting together the idea, we have the fun, we execute it through fun, and then at the end, we can go, hey, this is the real part of it.
Yeah.
And that That's not really allowed per se in stand-up. Maybe if you're Chappelle, you could take 5 minutes and pontificate on something and tell the whole story about whatever the fuck it is. But he's earned that because he's so fucking prolific. You're like, I'm just gonna listen to you.
Right.
And maybe one day we get there. But yeah, it is an interesting question.
Well, those clips have been doing super well. I see them all the time being shared.
It's been cool.
Bro, it's crazy.
It's just been fucking cool.
Yeah,
man.
it reminds me of what like a late night show monologue would look like if it wasn't PC. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's a good.
Yeah,
that's what we've been
It's
trying.
what all
to,
politics shows should be. I think is what the idea was.
Yeah, we were just talking about this, and I was talking about it on Rogan a little bit, which is like, it's very difficult right now to have a fair cultural or political satire show because the institution that you're working for is politically aligned.
Right.
And they won't allow you to make fun of that institution. So there's only one other institution left.
Right.
The opposition. So you have to push in that direction. And what we were basically saying is like, we're just going to do like the funniest joke or even the truth never has a party, right? Like sometimes the truth is left, sometimes the truth is right. That's just how it is. So we're just going to do the funniest bit. And we're going to have the most truthful take. And another reason why I watch your guys' shit is like there's ammunition in it. Like I watch your videos, like I got some ammunition for DeFUN. This anybody wants to talk to me about DeFUN, I got a few bars I could give to the people, and I'm ready to go. I didn't research it. You did all the intellectual heavy lifting for me, but now I got it locked.
Right.
You know, and I think we try to put that into pieces as well. It's like, all right, what is the one thing this week that we want to talk about? It's 5 minutes. Now, when you talk to your friends about masks later, you could be like, well, the masks don't even work. And like, how do you know that? Nah, Fauci. But it's really, you know what I'm saying? It's really Mark and I just fucking writing these jokes, you know? So yeah, it just works that way.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you guys, this is like a question I've been asking myself all week, but do you guys feel like, especially in the States, we focus so much on race? And I say this because I find like companies like Amazon, like Black Lives Matter and all this shit. And then like they align themselves as if they're very liberal and left, but then their work policies are extremely conservative in the way they operate. So I feel like there's so many people trying to invest in this racial conversation just to keep away from their own shitty behaviors.
Mark has an interesting thing about this. Go.
But yeah, like I completely agree. But also just the fact that you have all these corporations that are supporting this quote unquote revolution is effectively, it should be an indication that it's not going to affect anyone's money.
No.
It's not going to affect anyone's bottom
Break
line.
that down though.
Like why would, like if there's some sort of like revolution against like the 1% or an Occupy Wall Street thing, no wealthy corporation that's making a ton of money, especially off the backs of poor people, is going to support some sort of labor revolution.
It could potentially hurt their bottom line.
Yeah. Like you're not going to support a revolution that's like, yo, take down Amazon. Amazon's not going to be like, yeah, you're right. It's like, this is like some sort of social issue that's not going to affect anyone's money. So
they can get on board.
And on top of that, if they get on board, it can actually improve their money.
Yeah, because now they look like good guys.
Yeah. You imagine if Black Lives Matter tried to be like, yo, let's fuck up tax havens. How fast would fucking Amazon be like, we're not shipping those niggas? You know, it would change instantly.
100%.
And so for me, it's like such a focus. And people don't realize if you eliminate a lot of this wealth problem, a lot of these racial issues will disappear as well. People always talking about like police reform and this and that. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds great. I get it in the short term. But in the long term, if you don't fix people's finances and their money problems, these issues will persist.
Yeah.
The most interesting thing about the Derek Chauvin murder is the amount of diversity in the cops that killed him. That is completely removed from the conversation, right? Like, I knew this was going to happen. We even fucking talked about it in the last piece. We're like, they will make this a race war when this is a war against police brutality that is disproportionately affecting black people. 100% race plays a part in everything. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But it's not a white people, black people on the street beefing. This is authority and authority abusing a certain percentage of the population.
Sure.
But it's not as exciting if you can create a race war.
No.
That's the fun shit.
Yeah.
And it's
Additionally, it's not. You can
race is a weapon. That's what I think we're all getting at.
If you can keep the poor people feuding over race, they're not going to feud over the fact that like they're not getting money, the minimum wage is fucking them up, or like whatever the economic issue is.
They're not going to let us war over something they don't have the weapons for.
Yeah,
Amazon is like, cool, y'all war over race. And yeah, black people are getting fucked up. We're not denying that at all. But this will keep that as much as we can. We'll protect our money. And then we'll send out an email in support of these black people who are getting killed because they shouldn't be. And it's not fucking up our money.
Yeah.
You don't think it's going to fuck up their money? Because I saw Bezos post over the weekend. He's getting emails because they have like Black Lives Matter.
Yep.
They support Black Lives Matter
Yep.
when you go to Amazon. So
Virtue
now he's
signaling.
getting
Bullshit.
emails that people are like, oh, I ain't fucking with Amazon
He
anymore.
knows good and goddamn well ain't nobody
All right,
canceling their Amazon.
Go get your shit. Go get your. Where else you gonna get
You
it?
go to Walmart. Guess what they said? Black Lives Matter.
Yeah,
Walmart said it too?
Come on,
I
bro.
think so. I'm not positive.
You know what this is? This is another version of like the environmentalist movement. It's like, you know how like every actor cares about the environment? Because it's the issue you can care about and not piss anybody off that's going to buy a ticket to your film. Like Leonardo DiCaprio is like, okay, I got to be the biggest actor, but I can't be this rich and successful and fuck this many 19-year-olds and then not do some good. What good can I do without pissing off the population, some of it? Polar bears. Done. And I feel like the companies have realized that this movement, they're like, okay, maybe we'll piss off some cops, but we can deal pissing off with 1% of the population if we're going to get tons of free promo, tons of free PR, and we're going to have black people who truly organize as a group, especially when it comes to like purchasing power. We're going to have black people ride for us heavy.
Right.
Shit.
They did the same calculation as Nike.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. Exactly.
Go.
Remember when people were like, I'm going to boycott Nike, blah, blah, blah. Their stocks are going to drop for supporting Kaepernick.
Nope.
Shit went right up. And I'm like, Nike's the same company that sells like overpriced sneakers to niggas. And I'm like, yo, get
Made
that
in
shit out of here,
sweatshops.
man.
They don't give a fuck,
it's
yo.
like, it's all virtual signaling because it benefits their bottom line. They're strategically placing themselves to be on the right side of conflicts for their bottom line. They rarely make miscalculations like on
As
this.
soon as it's unfashionable to support black people, the corporations will
They're
not support
out.
black people.
Well, unfashionable, or as soon as it, I guess unfashionable is also tied to their bottom line.
Yeah, I'm saying more specifically, like if it's gonna really affect their bottom line.
Yeah.
Like Nike's been around for a minute. Like,
They know what they're doing.
Corporations see color, and I'm sure that is shown in their hiring practices, etc. But
Yeah.
more than color, they see green.
Yeah.
Where's the green? That's where I'm aligned.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. You know what's crazy that I've been thinking about? Like, why didn't these corporations that existed like during the fucking Nazis, why didn't they rebrand?
Like which company?
Like Volkswagen is still Volkswagen.
But it's good for their brand because Nazis had great vehicles.
Oh, bro.
But they did, though. They had great machinery. So I'm like, I might hate them, but if I need a good car, I'm going to get it from
Like
the
when
person.
they were pulling up into France, they were like, "Oh man, we're fucked," but that shit is moving, B.
Yo, you think
horsepower on a four-cylinder?
Yo, you think Jews in Germany are taking the service road? Get the fuck out of here, yo! Hey, put me in the left lane of this Autobahn, G. Let's go.
That's interesting. So there, even though it's this horrible tragedy, there is positive equity
Yeah.
in the things that, I mean, I guess that's how NASA got started, right?
Fill me in. I don't know.
Oh, you didn't know about that shit?
No.
Oh, son. It's that red pill, dog. We stole all the scientists from the Nazis.
Oh.
We split them up with the Russians. And then our whole space program is designed by them. Operation Paperclip, I think it's called.
I think somebody has a bit about this, but it's like dope shit outweighs anybody's morals.
Yes.
Yeah, Louis.
No,
Gerard.
it's Gerard.
Gerard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's very true. It's like people virtue signal all they want, but if you got a dope product,
All right. Let me throw something at you then.
okay.
Artist. Seemingly inseparable.
I like how you started that shit like it was poetry.
Right? Artist.
Seemingly.
So seemingly inseparable in terms of the actions of the artist versus the art they create, right? And if the actions of the artist are immoral, we also cancel that art that they produced.
Do we?
Some people would
Michael
say,
Jackson,
right? We could say
R. Kelly.
hypothetically, right? Like Cosby Show's taken off air,
Yeah.
etc. Right? You might not,
Yeah.
but that's why I'm asking.
I might not.
And you might not. We know you don't at all.
I do not.
Yeah, this guy was wearing a fucking Tillman University. So, or Hillman, what is it called? Hillman,
Hillman College. I got
This guy was
Hillman
wearing
College,
a Hillman
dude. I'm
College
wearing that shit all the time.
crew neck all the time during the Cosby trial.
Right.
That's where Cosby got his teenagers. Like he was tired of like old bitches raping old bitches on his show. He's like, I need a fucking college show.
Oh, Island, yo. I said, yo. All right.
What?
I had a picture. I had that hoodie on with the hood up
Yeah.
and my head down, and I sent it to Charlamagne and said, "Justice for Cosby."
So
He did not respond,
Yeah.
surprisingly.
scientist does some horrible thing. In Greece, they used to use little 14-year-old boys as like fleshlights. Fucked them all back in the day,
them all.
right? They did back in the day. Every scientist, Pythagoras, fucking every little kid, right? That was just what it was. You had it.
Yeah.
The science exists. We separate those.
Right.
We're not going to stop using antibiotics because Alexander Fleming did some foul shit back in the day.
Right.
Can we do that with art? Or should we?
I think the distinction that they always make is like, we need those inventions in terms of science because it's like life important. You know, if you come up with a vaccine, but you've raped 100 people, they're still not going to throw away the vaccine because it potentially will help and save folks. So I think they'll make a distinction between that and art. That's the argument they would make.
Rogan said this. He goes, all right, go.
Yeah, well, the question he asked in the podcast is, are we saying science is less important than art? And I would say, yeah, we are. Also, I think...
More important than art.
Science is more important than art. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Also, I think with artists, when they put out their art, that's like, you feel like you know them and you connect the two.
The art is a reflection of who
you.
they are.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Pythagoras' theorem wasn't a reflection of...
That existed and he discovered it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas art is something that actually comes from you and you create.
From your soul.
Question. What about if art is so powerful and so therapeutic that it has almost scientific ramifications? Like, I think there are people that feel so good when they listen to Michael Jackson's music.
Right.
And it evokes so many emotions, maybe like childhood stuff or whatever it is. It makes them feel so fucking good. Well, some people, a lot of childhood emotions. But like, can that reach the level of science?
Here's one difference. An artist, it's like the double-edged sword. If you get famous for your creation, you get worship for your creation.
Yeah.
Alexander Fleming, I didn't even know who the fuck he was until 10 seconds ago. You don't desire or enter this business for fame necessarily. You might get fame within your community, but within your community, the people who worship you, if they find out Alexander Fleming fucks kids, might be like, yo, fuck that. Fuck that dude. Foul ass motherfucker.
Science isn't necessarily performative, whereas like art is kind of like inherently performative.
You're doing it because you want some sort of like credit. You want some
Not
sort of
necessarily
validation.
like want adulation, but like it's just sort of goes with the territory. Like
So
it's impossible to be a singer without singing. You know what I mean? Like the very like it's intrinsic to being a singer that you must perform.
Rogan brought up an interesting one. He said the guy who created like fertilizer. You guys heard about this one?
No.
Maybe.
I think like the same type of formula used for the fertilizer, I could be getting this wrong, was used for the gas where they gas the juice.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about this.
Something like that?
Yeah,
Is it
yeah.
Zyklon B or
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then
that's
Zyklon A
Yeah.
is like the fertilizer or something like that. Zyklon B. Whatever. So apparently, while they're gassing Jews, he's winning the fucking Nobel Peace Prize. While they're gassing Jews with the exact same thing. And understandably so for the Nobel Peace Prize, because how many people are getting fed because now you can actually fertilize these crops. There's way more crops out there. Go.
Just to add to your
That'd be
point,
6
the whole
million.
Nobel Peace Prize,
What?
the whole guy that invented the Nobel Peace Prize. You know his story?
What's that?
Literally, the guy, I think it's like Alfred Nobel or some shit.
Okay.
Is the guy that invented
Cuck.
dynamite. Yeah, he invented dynamite.
What?
He's the guy that invented dynamite. He invents his dynamite, start getting used in like wars and people are blowing each other up and shit.
That's
and
how you create peace.
Someone writes an article where they're like, "Oh yeah, Alfred Nobel, you know the agent of death or some shit like that." Where they're like, they basically gave him the title of like, "Oh yeah, this guy invented death and like killed all these people." And he was like, "Oh shit, I can't be remembered as the guy that killed all these people."
Yeah.
So he went out and started this fund and this charity basically to be like, "No, we got to reward like humanitarians." So like he literally invented the Nobel Peace Prize
Out of guilt.
out of guilt because he kills so many people.
So he's like those white people rubbing black people's feet during these protests now.
I guess
Is that what they're doing? They're rubbing feet?
Bro, you didn't see this
apparently.
fucking...
I didn't
this
do
shit got to be set up, E.
Some of them, one of them was set up. One guy was like walking up to white women and he's like, "Do you believe Black Lives Matter?" And she's like, "Yeah."
Bend
She's
the
like,
knee.
You bend the knee. This was like, I was like, what is happening? Some of it is a setup. Some of it is a setup to just basically straw man the movement. But to come back to your point about the product, I feel like with art, it's hard to measure the impact it has on people. A vaccine, you take it, you get better, or you prevents you from disease. We know it.
Yeah.
With art, you can say it makes people feel great and all this stuff. But it's just like most people's problems. If they really can't see the impact, they don't believe it or they don't really care.
Yeah.
You know, I can talk about inequality all I want.
Yeah.
But watching a black man get snuffed in front of me is always going to have more impact because it's a visual. Even though this problem is more important and it is bigger,
Yeah.
that is always going to make people feel more. And that same token, art, may have more of an impact on people's happiness levels and fighting off depression and all this other shit. But a vaccine's always going to hit home harder. So it's just people's minds are not apt to
And you can
understand problems.
quantify it, yeah. Like you can quantify how many lives you save
Yeah.
with a vaccine. You can't quantify how many people were going to kill themselves until they heard this guy's music or whatever. That's all like.
Yo, totally
subjective.
separate note. You know how like Corona went out of business because of Corona?
Yeah. Yeah, the beer went out
The
of business.
beer went
'cause
out of
the
business.
virus.
Oh, it's actually did?
Y'all didn't hear about this? I heard they like stopped production or something like that. I mean, it's such a big beer distributor. They're probably owned by some other big company. They'll probably figure it out. But it was severely affected.
Yeah.
Right? Has Advil not taken a hit?
I'm sure they have.
Because everybody blamed, like, I'm not taking Advil no more ever.
For what? Why?
They said,
Oh, you
what
didn't
I
hear
heard
about
is
this?
No.
the initial
That
study.
shit makes you gay, bro. They said, they found out.
Fuck, where are you getting these stories?
Yo,
That is true though.
yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Advil makes you gay. They did a study over, no. They did a study over the last 50 years, and they found that people who took Advil instead of Tylenol had a higher activity of gay.
It was like a Tuskegee like experiment, but they did it in Atlanta.
You see what I do with son?
Nah, this is serious.
Hold on. Okay, you know how white Mark is?
What?
Smartest guy we know. What kind of experiment?
A Tuskegee experiment.
It's all right, dog. It's all right. Motherfucker can't even pronounce his own last name. You think he's gonna be able to pronounce Tuskegee, bro?
What did I say?
Tuskegee. What's up with you and G's, motherfucker? Figure them out.
Been taking
what
all
I
these
said, bro.
Advils.
That's what
Nah,
happened.
in all seriousness, Advil makes you die from corona.
So you're saying Advil makes you gagnon?
It's Gagnon, bro.
Gagnon.
Okay, no, so
No,
this
but
is
the
like a real
studies
study?
early on were like, if you take ibuprofen, it makes it like it will kill you faster if you have corona or some shit like that. It was
Bro.
like harmful
Okay.
for treating corona.
So why would you ever take Advil again just on the risk?
The study was false. Turned out later, but
Man,
this,
But the
Shut
damage
up.
has been done. Damage
You want to
been
hear
done.
about that, you fucking dork? You knowing about studies and shit? Fucking nerd ass mother. Technically, the ticket told me that man, ibuprofen. I don't call it Advil. That's just a brand name. Ibuprofen.
you cannot call me a dork and like David Still. Where the fuck
It's
is
Bill
that?
Still,
Bill
motherfucker. Put
Still.
some respect on the God.
Fucking
You,
King
you
dork.
watch Bill Still yet?
I don't know who that is.
Yo,
You don't need to.
that's the God, bro. Bill Still is the fucking GOAT, dude. He looks like Steve Kerr. He's out there talking shit about the Fed.
Is it any good?
Do y'all got a
This
Fed?
how boring he is. He's still alive.
God, say what?
You know how boring you got to be to shit on the Fed your entire career and
Yo,
you're still alive.
The documentary exposed like all like the banking families and all the foul shit that's going on through years, but it was so boring that all the Rothschilds were like, let that shit rock.
They probably didn't even finish it. They were like, should we kill this guy? They're like, oh, you finished that shit?
Which part you got?
Is that an indication that a conspiracy is bullshit? If like you can put out as much information as you want, they still decide not to act.
I just think they know people don't give a fuck enough. I think like as long as we're comfy, everything's cool.
Yeah,
They just need to keep us comfy. That's the whole thing.
yeah.
But they gotta squeeze us enough so that they get theirs.
So they get theirs. And then I literally think the trajectory of society is squeeze. We start to push back. And they're like, all right, release it a little bit. Let them get a little something. And then we go back to squeeze. Because right now, like you said earlier, this is a Black Lives Matter movement. But everybody who feels aggrieved by anything is
Yeah.
part of it. Because they're like, all right, we're taking down the system in any way. I'm about it.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
And I think the powers that be are seeing that. And they're like, oh, yeah, we were doing a little too much squeezing.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens. I think you're going to see some, outside of obviously just giving people money. That's what they just did with the STEMI check or whatever.
Right.
But I think you're going to see money going back into people's hands in some way.
Really?
They got to, like, if you're a billionaire, right? You can only be a billionaire as long as we allow you to be,
Fair.
right? Like, if we just go, fuck it, fuck the country, we're not going to have a country anymore.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah.
It's not going to work.
What I don't, this is what, to your point, maybe it's all bullshit. The stock market just keeps going up. Like, it's almost back to where it was before Corona.
Bro.
None of it makes sense.
Son, it's because they're giving people money.
Yeah.
Everybody who applied for unemployment, even if you're not getting money from your state, which that's where you're supposed to get it from, the government's sending you $600
I have not gotten this
to
money yet.
everybody who applied for this shit. So it's like, hey,
here's the-
shut up, everybody.
But at
It's
some
free
point,
money.
that has to lead to crazy inflation.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're peeing on yourself. Eventually you run out of pee, bro.
Yeah, so at some point it's going to catch up. And if there's inflation, the economy's going to go back down.
You never peed on yourself and it's warm?
Yeah, but run out of pee though.
And you run out of pee and then it gets cold. And you got pee all over you.
Nah.
He made it work.
Yeah.
I used to pee in my wetsuit and love it. It'd be so warm.
Yeah.
That's all.
Disgusting. Can we talk about how much bullshit Anonymous is? The new Anonymous?
What
why is that?
happened with these
Nah,
fuckers?
it's just because like the first Anonymous was like the shit. They were like really hacking shit
They
and
never
putting
did
stuff out.
shit. We're going to get you Trump's, you can even get Trump's salary.
But that's what I'm saying. This new Anonymous, because they went away for mad years.
Yeah.
And now they just come back under a new name, but same imagery. And they haven't released a single thing that
Yeah.
like isn't
You
just
know,
like
That's because
regular
the
for me.
social media manager was trash. He's like, yo, during this pandemic, let me release all this important information while, Black Lives Matter is going at it. It's like, no one, if this would have happened during regular times, I feel like it would have got way more traction.
Yeah.
I was like, why would you drop it now?
The beginning of the pandemic when we all had nothing to do. Drop it then.
Sure. But not
Yeah.
now. I was like, why would you drop it now?
You got to be careful with your content right now. Like, there's like a lot of comics like posting like stand-up clips right now. And it's like, do you not know what's going on?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, now is not the time.
They're getting views though.
Are they?
Yeah.
Are you posting on Instagram?
No, I haven't posted in a bit, but
Yeah.
I'm trying to hold out and figure out when to get back in or whatever.
Yeah, it feels weird to not post about, because like, especially with everything, everybody wants you to talk about that. And so oftentimes when I deviate from, because I don't want to cover policing and all that shit all the time, but it's so omnipresent in people's mind, that's all they want to click on.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah, man. Well, look, we got to wrap this up, man. Tell the people where they can find you. Is there anything else that you want to get off your chest? You know what I mean?
No, I'm pretty good. As far as finding me, Abba and Preach, you just find us on all social medias as that.
ABA and Preach.
Yeah.
And I guarantee if you watch our videos on the internet, you've probably seen at least a thumbnail pop up from you guys.
Yeah.
I think that we're kind of locked into a very similar part of the algorithm.
Yeah.
So go check them out. Great stuff. And then when are you guys going to come here and do some stand-up?
We were supposed to do a tour right before this Corona stuff popped off.
Yikes.
Yeah. We were planning the visas and everything. Almost gave the lawyer the final payment. I said, nah, bitch, wait like another 2 weeks. And I'm not giving her the payment anytime soon. But yeah, I think once this all kind of winds down, we're supposed to do our world tour. So that'll be fun for us.
Good shit, man. Yeah. All right, man. Go check them out, bro. Guys, thanks so much for watching. Peace.
God bless.